The starting lineup for the visitors, the Surf with a record of 1-3.
This came up before I started. Your connection speed is very slow. You may
Don't worry about it.
Batting first, number 1 in left.
Live from Sparky Anderson Field, we're back home for the Conejo Oaks taking on the Orange County Surf after a long weekend. Welcome everybody into the broadcasting booth along with my new caller for the day, Sean McKinnon, also doing some production. My name is Jonathan Rifkind. Delighted to be with you on a beautiful Tuesday afternoon from Thousand Oaks, California. The last time we saw these Conejo Oaks after the day off yesterday, it was a loss to the Barons 3-1. And a heartbreaking loss at that. One inning accounted for all of the Barons' runs. That was the third inning. The Oaks were able to strike first. They left a total of 11 runners on base, including 7 in scoring position. Not necessarily something that you want to see if you're head coach Dave Solis and this Oaks squad. But today, a brand new game, a brand new team, and a chance to make a change. The Orange County Surf, not a CCL team. They're an independent travel team who played a couple of seasons in the Sunset Baseball League. They won back-to-back championships in 2015 and 2016. Decided, you know what? Let's go independent and play some harder teams. And so far, they have done just that. Headed by head coach Matt Stark in his 4th season with the team, first as head coach. They come into today at 1-3 overall. And they don't play in a league, obviously, so 1-3 overall. The Oaks come in today 3-3 overall, 2-3 in the CCL. First for you, the starting lineup for the visiting Orange County Surf. I'll give you the Oaks field and then their lineup in the bottom half of the first inning. Connor Fedone from San Francisco State will lead off for them out in left field. Tommy Acuna behind him at second base from Santa Ana Junior College. Over at batting third, at first base is Austin Schell from Golden Coast Community College. In the cleanup spot for the Surf is Hank Schneller, DHing from Cal State Bakersfield. Behind him is Matt Abdenauer, catching from Midland University. Batting sixth, and out at third base is Ryan Roche from Montana State. Behind him in the seventh spot, Ryan Carpenter out in right field from Golden West Junior College. In the eighth spot and playing center field is Christian Carlos from Holy Names University. And to round out the order for the Orange County Surf is number 25, Clifford Pratt, playing shortstop from Orange Coast City College. As I mentioned, they're 1-3, headed by Matt Stark. On the mound for them, by the way, will be Caden Gustafson from Colorado Mesa University. And now, the Conejo Oaks field. Out and right will be Andrew Lucas, and center is Michael Tillman. In center is the brand new Michael Spears, and left is Michael Tillman. So a pair of Michaels out there in left and center field. Bart West over at first, Tanner Wright at second, Sam Shakin at short. Behind third base is Brandon Lewis. Zach Kamenko is our catcher for today's game, and on the mound getting his second start is Aaron Dolan for the Conejo Oaks. As we get you set here for game number 7, of the season for the Oaks, game number 5 for the Surf. Sean, as we bring you in here, the Oaks have been splitting their games. They won the first game, lost the second game, won the third game, lost the fourth game, won the fifth game, and lost the sixth game. So it obviously seems like they're due for a win here, but it's been very inconsistent. What do they do to build up that chemistry and start maintaining a consistent win rate down here as we hit the second week of the season?
You know, it sounds like they're at about, like 0.50 right now. They've been on and off again. So they know that they can win, and they also know that they can lose. So today is about confidence. They need to come together as a team, and last game, they got runners on base throughout the game, all game, you tell me. So now it comes down to closing. They need to get those runners home and get the score up.
The Oaks left 2 runners in scoring position in the first inning of the game against the Barons, and 2 runners in scoring position in the second inning against the Barons on Sunday. They left 7 runners in scoring position altogether in the 3-1 loss. They gave up 11 singles on the Barons' 11 hits. That is reminiscent of the starting game against the SoCal Cubs, where the Oaks gave up 12 hits and all 12 were singles. Small ball was the way that the Barons won that game. We'll see here if the Orange County Surf, who are batting 323, as a team, if they can capitalize in small ball. The only thing is, though, here, Sean, the Orange County Surf, in their first 4 games, have allowed 16 runs. They've only scored 6. So obviously, they're getting hits, but they're not producing on the scoreboard. What do they have to do to turn it around and try to get some of those runs across home plate?
You know, like you said, they haven't gotten many runs in. So today they're going to need to show the Oaks a new offense, something they haven't brought to the table yet. They haven't had a lot of games under their belt this season, and today's a good opportunity for them to score as much as they can. But against a tough Oaks defense, it'll be quite a contest.
The Oaks defense has been very good. Only 2 errors all season long. That is a bright spot for them. It'll be interesting to see here against a team who hits for contact if that'll change. I don't think it will, as we see our bench coach Joey Garcia and head coach Matt Stark shaking hands, talking with those umpires here today. In an interleague game, only 2 umpires take place on the field, a home plate umpire and a fielding umpire. So oftentimes the home plate umpire will also umpire first or second base, depending on where there are runners on base, and cause some confusion at times. But overall, it actually is a pretty good system. And you may wonder why. Well, what happens if there's bases loaded? How do you deem who gets the call? Well, from the home plate to first base is the home plate umpire's jurisdiction. From home plate to third base is the home plate umpire's jurisdiction. From first to third base, that includes the triangle, first base, second base, and third base, is the fielding umpire's jurisdiction until base runners get on. There's a runner on first base, and there's a runner on second base. Then we'll see the fielding umpire in between second and third base, and the home plate umpire gets jurisdiction from first to second base. I know it's confusing, but I promise it'll make a lot more sense once we get into the field of play as it looks like we're getting set here for the national anthem. We're going to take a break. When we come back, first pitch right here on the Oaks Broadcasting Network. Back here, I almost said MLB Urban Youth Academy, but that's where we were the last 2 days. Back here at George Sparky Anderson Field, happily, nothing against the MLB Urban Youth Academy in Compton, but nonetheless, back here and happy to be here at George Sparky Anderson Field. Welcome, everybody. I hope that you are enjoying the start of your week. The day off yesterday as the Oaks now take Tuesday, the first game of 12 and 14 days. It is going to be a long stretch here, along of the season without consistent days off. My name is Jonathan Rifkin. I'm joined alongside me by my producer and color guy, Sean McKinnon. Hope you're enjoying your Tuesday here, Sean, as we get you set for Oaks baseball. This is your first ever broadcast. How does it feel to be behind a mic?
Well, thank you for having me here, Jonathan. It's an exciting day. I really only started watching baseball religiously, you could say, pretty recently. So it's a brand new experience for me in the baseball world, and it's a brand new experience for me broadcasting as well. So I'm excited to see what today has in store.
Sean is going to the University of Missouri for political science and broadcasting. You can tweet at him at McKinnon underscore Sean, excuse me. I get that confused sometimes. But nonetheless, Sean, we're happy to have you, and I can't wait to see what you bring to today's broadcast and the broadcast forthcoming, as we are still in the youth of this 2018 CCL Conejo Oaks season. Well, you hear the voice of Mr. Jordan Brenner, who is doing PA for us today, as Ramsey is not here, and that is why he is not on the broadcast. So you'll be hearing his voice sporadically in the background of our games. And Connor Fedone is going to lead things off here from San Francisco State for the Orange County Surf, the B team for the Orange County Riptide, an independent team. And Aaron Dolan deals the first pitch. It's popped foul back into the stands for strike one, and we are underway. 4:34 is our pitch time. This is the first game all season long at home that we've actually started ahead or behind schedule. Most of the time we've gotten first pitches underway about 3 minutes before 4:30. Nonetheless, though, some quality baseball about to come your way. So the 0-1 pitch is slapped foul once again. 0-2 the count to Fedone. On the season for him, this is actually his first at-bat. So we'll see here what he can make of his first at-bat with the Orange County Surf down 0-2. Dolan deals in the dirt, 1-2 the count. For Aaron Dolan, He's had one start, or excuse me, Aiden Dolan. He's had one start in one appearance. In that one inning, gave up one hit and struck out two batters. 1-2 pitch, cut foul, and we'll do it again. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
You know, Jonathan, sorry, forgot your name. He was down in the count early, but for 2 strikes now, he's held on. So this is his first at-bat, but he's managed to stay alive for a bit, and we'll see if he can get a hit or if the Oaks will strike him out.
Aiden Dolan from Oxnard Community College toes the rubber, takes the sign from his catcher, Zach Kamenko, and deals the 1-2. Skied foul out of play once again. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 3.0. Fans continuing to fill in here. But it should actually be a pretty decent turnout as we get along the game. The Oaks have a late arriving crowd. Obviously, the workday not over. But a lot of folks who work in the area of Thousand Oaks, come 5 o'clock, 5:30, will start filing in. The 1-2 pitch is a curveball missing up and away, 2-2 the count. The Oaks are in their navy blues today with white letters on the front outlined by baby blue and white letters on the back. The 2-2 from Dolan. Cracked over to first, into the glove of Bart West for out number 1. Fidone goes down on an unassisted 3 putout, and we have 1 quick out up on the board here to kick off game number 7 of the season.
If you're the Oaks, that's exactly what you want to happen, other than a strikeout. I went right to the first baseman, and they were able to get a quick out up on the board.
Quick outs are how the Oaks need to progress through this game, as they have had to play some long innings on the defensive side. The first pitch to Tommy Acuna, skied into center field, running back at the track is Spears, and he will make the catch about 2 feet short of the wall for out number 2. That's another pitch and another out. 2 quick down now here for the Surf, and number 6, Austin Shell from Golden Coast Community College stepping in. By the way, out there in the center is Michael Spears from Ole Miss. He just joined the team today. He'll be sporting number 12 on his back. Excuse me, number 18 on his back. Ryan Yamashiro will be sporting number 12. He also joined the team today from Cal Lutheran. As Shell digs in, the first pitch to him. Taken but bounced in the dirt for ball 1. So, as I mentioned, Michael Spears out there in center, one of the 2 Ole Miss products here for the Oaks. Keenan will be joining the team here in a couple of days. Dolan toes the rubber and deals the 1-0. In the dirt, ball 2, 2-0 to Shell. Shell has also not recorded an at-bat yet on the season. Bunch of newcomers here for the Surf as their roster continues to even out. The 2-0 popped up back towards the screen. Kamiko makes a run for it, and instead will let it bounce off the top to our right for strike number 1, 2-1 the count. Kamiko, one of the 3 Oaks catchers. Bryce Vitton drew the other 2. 2-away, 2-1 the count here, top of the first inning. The Surf are in their orange and blue uniforms, with white Surf on the front, outlined in blue, and white numbers on the back. The 2-1 is slapped into the glove at third base of Brandon Lewis for out number 3. Quick top of the first here. Dolan was dealing and retired the Surf in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. Andrew Lucas, Michael Spears, and Tyler Ryan due up here for the Oaks on the bottom half of the inning. But first a break right here on the Oaks Broadcasting Network. Back here in the bottom of the first inning. Welcome back, everybody, to Cal Lutheran University and George Sparky Anderson Field on a beautiful Tuesday afternoon. No matter how you're watching or where you're watching, we appreciate you making us a part of your Tuesday afternoon plans. Conejo Oaks batting order looks as follows. Andrew Lucas is batting first out in right field from CSUN. Behind him is Michael Spears. Out in center field from Ole Miss. In the 3 spot is Tyler Ryan, coming off of injury, DHing from Pacific, the University of Pacific, that is. Cleaning up for the Oaks, out at third base from Irvine, is Brandon Lewis. Behind him, Bart West, playing third base from USC, and Sam Shaken batting 6th, out short from Valparaiso. I'll give you the final 3 and the field here for the Surf in just a moment, as Caden Gustafson, who's a returner for the Surf. He actually started against the Oaks last year in the 6-5 loss, deals the first pitch to Andrew Lucas upstairs for ball 1. The Oaks won the last matchup between these two teams last year on the 14th of July in 2017, 6-5. Gustafson deals the 1-0. Slapped over to short. Clifford Pratt makes the play over to first for out number 1. Good extension by Austin Schell to complete the catch. 6-3, the first out on the Oaks offensive side. The rest of the order, batting 7th, out in left field from Pierce is Michael Tillman. Zach Kamiko behind him, catching from UNLV. To round out the Oaks order is Tanner Wright playing second base, playing at his home at Cal Lutheran. Give you the field here for the Surf in just a moment as Michael Spears checks in for his first Oaks at-bat. Ole Miss got knocked out of the Super Regional as the first pitch is taken for strike 1. And now he joins the Oaks after a pretty good Ole Miss run. Ole Miss the Rebels, one of the more historically phenomenal baseball programs. Spears looks to hone his skills here. The 1-0. Misses low, 1-1 the count. Gustafson has an inning under his belt so far this season. Deals the 1-1, but it's cracked foul. Out of play, 1-2 the count. In that inning, he gave up 1 hit, but struck out all 3 other batters that he faced. He's a very good pitcher. And the batter, Michael Spears, as I mentioned, just finished his freshman campaign with Ole Miss, a team that was eliminated in the Super Regionals. The 1-2 pitch, called strike 3, low and away. And Spears goes down in his first Oaks at-bat on a recorded strikeout, looking 2 quick outs now for the Orange County Surf. And how big is it here, Sean, for the Surf, who on paper are not as good as the Oaks, to get a couple quick outs and try to build some confidence here early?
It's good by them. The Oaks have had quite a number of runs this season. There have been some games that have been slow for the Oaks, some games higher scoring. But to get a quick out and...
the first pitch to the new batter, Tyler Ryan, has swung on a miss for strike 1.
To get a quick out and a couple quick outs in the first, a couple quick outs now, it's a good sign for them to start.
Tyler Ryan, coming off of an injury, did not travel with the team this past weekend, takes 0-1 pitch outside, 1-1 the count. On the season for Mr. Ryan, playing left field into today's game, 125 batting average. 9 plate appearances, but 8 recorded at-bats. He has a hit and a walk. Has yet to strike out this season. The 1-1. Sliced into center field for a single. And with 2 away here in the bottom of the first inning, Tyler Ryan is able to keep the inning alive, getting the Oaks' inaugural hit here today. I guess you heard me say that he's only 1 for 8, because he just changed that fortune right there. Now 2 for 9 on the season. Nonetheless, the season is young, and coming off of an injury, he is going to be itching to see that batting average creep up. And now Brandon Lewis will step in, batting phenomenally on the season. 304. He's played all 6 games, started all of them as well. 2 runs, 2 RBIs. He had the game-winning RBI single in the 11th inning on Saturday against the Barons. Oaks will now win 8-7. Gustafson deals the first pitch. Taken low for ball 1. Brandon Lewis headed to UC Irvine in the fall. Was second on the Pierce Junior College team in batting average, led the team in home runs, and led all of junior college in slugging percentage. Gustafson toes the rubber and deals the 1-0. Slider, low and away, 2-0 the count. By the way, the field for the Surf, Ryan Carpenter is in right, Christian Carlos is in center, Connor Fedone is in left, Austin Shell at first, Tommy Acuna at second, Clifford Pratt at short, Ryan Roche at third behind the dishes, Matt Abdelauer, and Gustafson on the mound. He deals 2-0. That one is a shot high and deep to left field. Looking up is Fedone, and that's over the wall. A 2-run shot for Brandon Lewis, the first of many for the season. And the Oaks take a quick 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning.
You know, that's exactly what you expect out of Brandon Lewis. He has been a good pitcher, a good hitter for the Oaks. And if you give him a pitch like that, he'll take advantage of it. And that's exactly what he did, bringing in 2 runs for the Oaks.
Gustafson leads a fastball right at the letters, and that was turned on perfectly. We were wondering when Brandon Lewis would start to heat up, and right there, that may be the breakout moment for him. Bart West digs in, batting .389 on the season, takes a strike at the knees. The USC product, he's either hit safely or struck out in all of his at-bats. On the season, he has 21 plate appearances, 18 at-bats, 7 hits in those 18 at-bats, but also 11 strikeouts. The 0-1 in the dirt, 1-1 the count. Special thanks to Jacob Placker, statistician, for keeping up us in the now on everything Oaks stats. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 away. Oaks lead 2-0, the 1-1. Hopped over to third, but out of play, 1-2 the count. That home run by Brandon Lewis was reminiscent of one that we saw that he hit off the bat last year for his first home run. The first of 8 he hit for the Oaks in that season. The 1-2 to West. Breaking pitch called strike 3 on the outside corner. 2 strikeouts for Gustafson, and we'll leave it there here in the first inning. The Oaks strike for 2 runs on the home run. 2 hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Top of the second we go. 4, 5, 6 hitters due up for the surface. Now they have to climb back down 2-0. We'll be right back on the Oaks Broadcasting Network.
Back.
Hank Schneller, the cleanup man here for the Orange County Surf, will lead things off. The Surf trailing 2-0 here early in the top of the second. Welcome back, everybody. Sean McKinney, myself, Jonathan Rifkind. Hope you're enjoying your Tuesday. Brandon Lewis hit a shot over the left field fence to give the Oaks the early lead, but it is early as the Surf's offense will look to try and do some damage of their own. Schneller from Cal State Bakersfield takes a first pitch ball outside, 0-1 the count to him. On the season for Schneller, he also has yet to record an at-bat, according to the stats on the Surf website. The 1-0 pitch is slapped over to third. Lewis fields it over to first. And not only can he hit home runs, but he can make beautiful plays such as that one. 1 quick out here for the Oaks.
It's an interesting choice to put almost all first-time at-bats at the start of your lineup for the day. But, you know, it's summer ball, so he's giving them a try.
It's important because, yes, you want to win, but it's also about the development of these guys. These guys are trying to go on to the show, and without opportunities, what's the point? Mm-hmm. Matt Abdelauer checks in now from Midland University. He has recorded a couple at-bats in one game and 1 plate appearance. He hit a single. So he is batting 1,000 on the season. The Surf coming into today batting with a 1-3 record, I should say. The 1-0 pitch, low, 2-0 the count. They opened up their season against the Orange County Riptide, which is actually their A team. They're owned by the same group out in Orange County, but dropped that one, the 2-0. Skied into right center field. Spears and Tillman both giving chase, but it looks like Spears out of center field will make the catch for out number 2. 2 quick outs now here, ground out and a fly out. But as I was saying, for the Surf, they played a couple of seasons in the Sunset Baseball League. They won in 2016 and 2017, and they said, you know what, let's disassociate, because then they could play their own schedule. They have games in Fresno. They have games in Alaska, in the Alaskan League, which is a prestigious baseball league. So this is actually, overall, a really good move for them as Ryan Roche digs in, and this guy's one foul for strike 1. Dolan, 2 quick outs here, has an 0-1 count. And as I mentioned, they lost 6-2 against the Orange County Riptide to start off the season, as the 0-1 pitch becomes 0-2 on the strike on the inside corner. Then they played the Ventura County Bucks and lost 16-6. On June 9th, they played the SoCal Shepherds and won 6-4. Then they lost to the Ventura County Bucks 15-6. And on June 10th, their last game, they lost to the Bombers 14-12. The 0-2 pitch becomes 0-3 on a taking breaking ball. Ryan Roche goes down on 3 quick pitches. The first strikeout on the day for Dolan. And just very, very quickly, we're out of the top of the second inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. Dolan has faced 6 batters and have sent all 6 back to the bench. Oaks lead 2-0, looking to do more damage on the bottom half of the inning on the other side of this break. Sam Shaken, the Valparaiso Crusader, will lead things off here in the bottom of the second inning with the Oaks leading 2-0. He struggled a little bit on the season, went through a 1-for-12 stretch before breaking it in Sunday's game against the Academy Barons, in the 3-1 loss. He ended up going 1-for-3 with a walk and a single in that game. First pitch from Gustafson is a beautiful curveball in the outside corner for strike 1. But overall for Shaken, he's still batting pretty well on the season, .227 in all 6 games that he's played. He's now started every single game for the Oaks. 1 run, 3 RBIs as well. Gustafson deals the 0-1 pitch upstairs, 1-1 the count. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Surf. 1 of 2 times this season these 2 teams will be playing. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors for the home team Conejo Oaks, coming off a 2-game road stand. It's the 1-1 pitch. Runs up and in, 2-1 the count. A road stand that they split. They opened up a 3-game series against the CCL foe Academy Barons on Friday back here at Sparky Anderson Field and dropped that game. Then on Saturday, 1 in 11 innings, 8-7, and lost on Sunday, 3-1. The 2-1 offering fouled back into the parking lot, evens the count to Shaken, 2-2. And mind you, Sam Shaken may be off to a slow start here in the CCL season, but he is a phenomenal baseball player, batting over .280 at Valparaiso. Last year with the Oaks, he batted .323 with 26 runs scored, which led the team. Actually was second to the team against Brandon Lewis as the 2-2 pitch is cracked straight down against the plate. We'll do it again. Lewis had 32 runs scored, Shaken at 26, so he was actually second on the team. He had 11 RBIs and 1 home run. He does have a home run so far on the season. That was on the opening day against the Coastal Cubs. from Chatsworth. Father John, Uncle Bill. Shout out to both of them. The 2-2. Skied into shallow right field, making way for it is Carpenter. And he makes the catch just short of the foul line for out number 1.
Now for the Oaks, number 27.
One quick out here for Gustafson and company, and Michael Tillman now will dig in. Batting .263 on the season. 4 runs scored, a pair of RBIs knocked in. He's also struck out 4 times and walked 3 times. Led Pierce Junior College in batting average this past season. In his second season in the CCL, he did play for the Ventura Halos last year. Though, half-hearted swing, they said he went around for strike 1. The Halos disassociated from the CCL this season. So Tillman made his way over with fellow teammate Dylan Francis, who we saw in his Oaks inauguration on Sunday. He threw 3 flawless innings. The 0-1 from Gustafson. In the dirt, 1-1 the count. Zach Kamenko waiting on deck in the hole. Should we get that far? Tanner Wright. Oaks lead 2-0 here early.
What do you think about the green tape?
I like it. 1-1. Slapped foul over to the Surf dugout. A couple guys tried barehanding it. Neither with any success. 1-2 the count. I like the green tape, the green and yellow highlight color, if you will. It reminds me of when I take notes in school, so I think that association I don't like, but I do like that it is on the bat, and it complements the light brown. The 1-2, a breaking pitch, cracked back, and just bounces in front of a moving vehicle. Very lucky that car actually stopped without knowing the ball was there. I'm assuming just stopped randomly, and the ball bounced right in front of it. We'll do it again at 1 ball and 2 strikes. I like when players pimp out their bats.
Me too.
It gives it a clean look.
Yes.
1-2 here from Gustafson. Slapped over to third into the glove of O'Shea. He takes a couple of hops and fires it over the head of Shell. He comes down with the ball but not touching the bag, and that'll be an error on the third baseman. The Oaks have a runner on first here with 1 away. An E5 in the scoring book. And the Oaks have actually done a good job forcing errors on the opposing team. They forced 8 in total against the Barons in the 3-game series. They only had 1 themselves in those 3 days. The Oaks only have 2 errors on the season, which is really good to start. It's not been the defense that's been the problem. It's been the offense that's been the problem. A little bit of inconsistency, but today trying to break out of that slump. Zach Kamenko digs in here. First pitch runs low and away to him for ball 1. Sporting the UNLV red armband. Keeping his running Rebels close to his heart here with the Conejo Oaks. One of my favorite mascots. We were talking about mascots the other day, and we completely forgot to talk about the UNLV Rebels. I guess we have an Ole Miss Rebel and
That's what I was
a
just thinking.
UNLV Rebel on the team. So, a pair of Rebels here, but from different universities. How about that?
In different parts of the country.
Oh, yes. One in Las Vegas and one in Starkville, Mississippi. The 1-0. Slapped past the diving glove of Ryan O'Shea in the third into left field. And Zach Kamenko gets on base here with 1 away, advancing the runner to second. He was batting 167 with only 1 hit prior to that. Now gets his second hit of his Oaks campaign. And the Oaks are looking to rally up ahead 2-0 and tack on a few more runs here in the bottom of the second inning. Michael Tillman standing on second base, reached base by way of an error by Ryan Roche out there at third. As Tanner Wright steps in, he leads the Oaks in batting average, batting a clean .400. The first pitch to him is in the dirt, called ball 1. In 20 plate appearances and 15 at-bats, he has 6 hits, 2 runs scored, 4 RBIs, 3 walks. He's also been hit by 2 pitches. Finds a way on base in any means possible. Has only struck out once. He knows how to make contact. The 1-0. At the knees, 1-1 the count. And that's a benefit. He's from Cal Lutheran. He's playing here at his home. Not only that, not only is he comfortable here, but he's also a very good baseball player. So to have that combination, he plays at the bottom of the order and at the top of the order, is deadly for Coach Solis' squad. Ooh. Gustafson Checks Tillman over at second. No throw, but he dives back safely. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away here. Bottom of the second inning. Oaks trying to push across a few more runs with a runner in scoring position. Tanner Wright, the guy who can get the job done, as Gustafson deals a 1-1 curveball in there for strike 2. These two teams only met once last year. This is the first of 2 meetings between these two teams. As Gustafson toes the rubber and checks on the runner at second. Fires in the 1-2 pitch low and away, 2-2 the count. These two teams will also play on July 25th. Back here at 4:30. That'll be the second to last game of the season. It's about a month-and-a-half break. And then the Surfs Oaks matchup round 2 will be conducted here. The 2-2 pitch is slapped over the first. On the third, Hop Shell is able to field it cleanly and tap first base. But that is a productive out if the Oaks can capitalize. 2 away now. Runners in scoring position.
Now batting for the Oaks, number
Tillman
5.
at third, Zach Kamenko at second. And back to the top of the order, the CSUN product, Andrew Lucas, or he's headed there in fall. He's actually from Camarillo High School, about 20 minutes north of here. But overall, he has been phenomenal so far on the season. Batting .444 in 3 games. 4 runs, 5 RBIs, which leads the team. He also has a grand slam. First pitch at the knees for strike 1. 0 for 1 today, grounded out to Clifford Pratt over at short to begin the Oaks half of the first inning. Crowd beginning to file in a little bit more. Pretty good showing here from Sparky Anderson. 0-1 pitch is pulled into the Oaks dugout for strike number 2. No runs, 2 hits. Or no hits, excuse me. 1 error for the Surf. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Oaks. When picking up to right, as normal here. 0-2 pitch. Just misses low. 1-2 the count. Over to our left, over left field is the Rams summer training facilities. And earlier today, they had their offensive OTAs, their offensive practices, and Jared Goff and Todd Gurley were out there.
Did you meet him?
I have not met them. I tried waving hi to them, but I think they were focused on getting ready for what could be a championship campaign as the 1-2 pitch is low, 2-2 the count. They have come down last year. Todd Gurley came down to our left field fence and asked if he could take batting practice, but due to liability issues, we couldn't let him. We are trying to work it out this year. We'll see what happens. 2-2 pitch from Gustafson. Skied into center field. Carlos makes his way, but it'll go over his head across the wall. Tillman comes in. Kamenko comes in. Rounding second and going to third is Andrew Lucas, and he will stand on third base. His second triple of the season. The Oaks take a 4-0 lead as 2 runs come across the plate as well. Andrew Lucas, headed to CSUN in the fall, is going to be a superstar. You can tell. His 7th RBI of the season. And man, can he see this field well.
Jonathan, that was great to see. His back was up against the wall. There was 2 outs. He had 2 strikes. He places it nicely out in right field, and he brings 2 runners in. That's great to see from the Oaks because that was their problem last game. They couldn't capitalize on runners being left out in the field.
One of those 2 runs was earned because Tillman got on by way of an error. That'll bring in Michael Spears as he takes a lone away slider. Ball 1. Spears struck out looking his first time up. Has an opportunity to knock in his first run in a Conejo Oaks uniform. For Ole Miss in his freshman campaign, he played 24 games and batted .118. The 1-0 pitch is a one-hopper over to second. Underhanding it is Acuna. He mishandles it, and a run will come in and score on the error. Reaching safely at first is Spears, and the Oaks take a 5-0 lead here in the bottom of the second inning. That is a rough one if you are Acuna over at second. He got it on the hop, but on the transfer actually fumbled and lost it. That'll be the second error of the day here for the Surf. And yet another run for the Oaks. Only giving them more momentum as Tyler Ryan checks in.
The Surf seems like they're going to need to eliminate almost all errors. Oh.
As the pitch is called a ball, the runner goes. The throw is not in time. And Spears is on second base with his first stolen base of the season in his inaugural Oaks game.
I was saying that the Surf seem like they're going to need to eliminate much more errors today if they want to stay competitive.
Exactly. Every run in this inning from here on out will be unearned because technically the inning should have been over due to
Oh my gosh.
that error. Sorry about that. As the 1-0 pitch becomes 2-0, we just lost our connection for a moment. But to reiterate, because I'm not exactly sure how much sense that made because we were dealing with that, because of that error with 2 outs, any run that comes in to score thereafter will be unearned. Pickoff attempt. Tillman is back. Spears is back over to second base. Again, pair of Michaels out in center left field for the Oaks, so do our best to keep that as consistent as possible. He takes a long lead out at second base. We saw the wheels after he stole second base. I don't know if they'll give him the go-ahead over to third with 2 away, but we'll see.
The Surf have been keeping a close eye on second base. They did it once where the pitcher turned back, but there seemed to be miscommunication between him and the second baseman. But this time they made the throw, but the tag was unsuccessful.
The 2-0 pitch is in the dirt, 3-0 now, and it looks like Gustafson is pitching away from these batters. First man who led off was Sam Shake, and he flew out. Michael Tillman got on by way of an error. Zach Kamikow singled. Tanner Wright grounded out to first. Andrew Lucas hit a 2 RBI triple, and Michael Spears got on by way of an error as well. The 3-0 offering is low for ball 4, and Tyler Ryan, who's 1 for 1 on the day, makes his way over to first base on a 4-pitch walk. That's the first walk given up on the day by Gustafson. And that'll bring up the big bat of Brandon Lewis, who we saw go yard over the left field fence his first time up. We'll look to recreate that here, but this time with 2 runners on and 2 away. That home run came with 2 outs in the first inning. Wide stance. Gustafson toes the rubber, takes a breath, peers, and fires the first pitch. One hopper well over Ryan O'Shea's head at third base. Rounding third and coming home to score is Michael Spears. Over to second base is Ryan. And Brandon Lewis is 2 for 2 today with 3 RBIs. And the Oaks take a 6-0 lead here in the bottom of the second inning. Sean, is this the offensive breakout game that we have been waiting to see from the Conejo Oaks?
It's exactly what we've been waiting to see. Brandon Lewis has been phenomenal so far with a home run and a big hopper that's brought in runners both times. This game seems to have them building their confidence so far, and we'll see what else they can accomplish.
That is an unearned run, by the way, as Bart West takes a strike for 0-1 count. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout back in the first. If he gets on base and this inning continues, the Oaks will have batted around. Gustafson trying not to let that happen. 6 runs, 4 earned. 2 errors in the inning, 2 on, 2 away. The 0-1. Up and in, evens the count, 1 ball and 1 strike to West. Bark West has now struck out 12 times on the season and has hit safely 8 other times. Pretty crazy how he doesn't, when he hits, he doesn't get out, but the only way to get him out is a strikeout. Gustafson checks the run at second and deals the 1-1. Slapped right into the glove of the second baseman, Tommy Acuna, and the number 9 hitter in the inning finally puts out number 3. But a total of 4 runs come around on 3 hits, 2 errors, and 2 left on base. We're through 2 full here from George Sparky Anderson Field. The Oaks lead 6-0. The 7, 8, and 9 hitters due up here on the other side of the break for the Surf when we come back on the Oaks Broadcasting Network.
Carpenter.
The Orange County Surf look to muster up a couple of runs here in the top of the third. Welcome back, everybody. The Oaks leading 6-0. The Surf have yet to have a batter reach first base. They've been 0 for 6 to start off the game, but Ryan Carpenter, Christian Carlos, and Clifford Pratt will try to change that here. Aiden Dolan on the mound has been playing very well as he fires in a strike to Ryan Carpenter. 0-1 the count. Only one strikeout, but other than that, he's been getting quick outs, forcing the Surf players to hit ground balls or flyouts. Fires in the 0-1. Slapped back up on the mound. Great glove by Dolan. Still underhanded over to Bart West at first for out number 1. And how important is it here, Sean, for a pitcher to be able to play the field just as we saw Dolan do right there?
It's imperative. That's an important play for him to make, to get a quick out up on the board. He had quick hands, he was focused, and he knew what he was doing in his timing with a trot over to first, but he timed it up perfectly so that he could get the out.
Christian Carlos digs in now. In 1 game and 3 at-bats, he's yet to record a hit and has 1 strikeout. The first pitch to him is a curveball at the knees for strike 1. What a pitch! That started up at his nose and dropped down to his knees.
It did.
71 miles an hour. I'm not exactly sure how you can hit that one. Carlos calls Holy Names University his home in the fall. The 0-1 pitch is the same exact curveball, though 2 miles an hour faster for strike 2. Aiden Dolan, you are wowing me with that curveball. Starts up at 12 and ends at 6.
As a batter, I can't imagine how hard that is to hit, because to convince yourself to swing
is a process. As 0-2 is cracked foul, fastball finally. But it's true, because you have to catch up to that pitch. And to time it with that much break is really, really hard. And even some of the best in the game can't even do that. The Oxnard College product offers the 0-2. A curveball slapped foul off the leg of Carlos, and we'll do it again. No balls and 2 strikes. The Oaks struck for 2 runs in the bottom of the first with a Brandon Lewis 2-run shot over the left field fence, and then they exploded for 4 more runs in the second inning, though you have to think that 2 of the errors that the Surf made, had they not been made, could have saved a couple of runs. The 0-1 pitch is popped up in the shallow center field. A few Oaks making way, and no one can get to it. That'll be a bloop single here for Christian Carlos. He is the first base runner of the game for the Surf with 1 away here in the top of the 3rd inning.
That's good to see from the Surf. They needed a run, they needed a base hit, and they got it. It was a little miscommunication by the Oaks, but the Surf will take it.
It was Wright, Shaken, and Spears all making way to it. Wright was the closest out of second base, but he couldn't make the catch. He was able to get the ball in a hop. The no-hit perfect game bid ends in the 3rd, though I wouldn't call it that because it was only the first 2 innings. Clifford Pratt now digs in the number 9 spot. First pitch to him is a strike at the knees. Pratt on the season has 1 at-bat and grounded out on that at-bat, though he has come in as a pinch runner also and scored. Dolan toes the rubber. Takes the sign from Kamiko behind the dish. Takes a breath. Pearson fires the 0-1. Curveball missing inside. 1-1 the count. 6 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Oaks. No runs, a hit, 2 errors for the Surf. We'll have 2 meetings between these 2 teams. July 25th will be the next one. And that'll be my sister's birthday present. I'll get her a couple of tickets to this game as the pickoff attempt goes past Bart West's glove and advancing the second base on the misplay. No, he's going to third as that ball goes all the way to the wall. The throw will not beat him there, and a 2-base mistake gives Christian Carlos an opportunity to score here for the Surf. He's 90 feet away from home plate, and the pickoff attempt went under the glove of West. That's the Oaks' first error of the game, and it could prove to be a costly one.
I like the aggressiveness from Carlos. You're down by 6. That's a play that needs to be made. Not only the steal to second, but the steal to third as well.
That error will be on the pitcher, an E1 in the books as Clifford Pratt faces a 1-1 count. Dolan shakes off the first 2 signs from Kamiko, finally gets one he likes, and fires in the 1-1. Half-hearted swing. They said he went around. 1-2 the count, though. We'll see here if he goes with the curveball. He went with a pair of fastballs here to put those 2 strikes on the board. Haven't seen much of the curveball in this at-bat. Pratt from Orange Coast Community College steps back in, waves that bat over his right shoulder. The 1-2 offering. Bounces in the dirt. A great block by Kamenko, though. Even with the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. That was a really athletic play from Kamenko. It looks easy, but the ability to have a catcher who understands that he has to sacrifice his body at times for the betterment of the team is quite a commodity, especially for young baseball players and on a young baseball team. The 2-2 pitch is a curveball inside. 3-2 count now. The first of a 4-game homestand for this team, Tuesday through Friday. We'll hit the road to Biola University on Saturday before coming back home to finish off the weekend on Sunday. Payoff pitch. Speared behind home plate and just foul. We'll do it again, 3-2. There's a lot of room behind home plate here at Cal Lutheran, but a lot of these balls get picked up by the wind, especially when they're fouled off to the right side towards first base. The wind will pick it up and carry it out of play, and it'll be a lot harder for catchers to judge where those balls are. We've seen catchable balls be dropped or mistimed by catchers just because the wind will have, a late gust or pick up that ball and carry it elsewhere. Dolan deals the payoff pitch. A curveball. Oh, just missing low and inside. Good patience by Clifford Pratt, the number 9 hitter. Runners on the corners now, 1 away. But that's not necessarily a bad situation, as that's the first walk given up by Dolan, because now you're in a double play situation. With 1 away, you can end the inning by turning 2. Curveball just missed. Runners on the corners now, 1 away. And Connor Fredone digs in. He grounded out to first base to kick off the game here in the first inning. Dolan deals. Upstairs for ball 1. As I mentioned, Dolan, from Oxnard at 11 innings under his belt, as almost balked there. He faked the run to third. No, he did balk. And that'll score a run because he faked the throw to third, stepped off the mound, and went to first. The first balk that we have seen in quite a while here at Cal Lutheran. And that makes it a 6-1 ball game now on another mistake by Dolan on the mound. And that will be an earned run. Runner on second now. That eliminates the double play threat. And that is the worst possible scenario besides a 3-run home run if you're the Oaks. 1-0 count still to Fedone. Dolan deals. Low for ball 2. I've only seen a balk one other time here at Cal Lutheran, and it was actually by Dylan Francis, who was not on the Oaks at the time. He was on the Ventura County Halos, a team that dropped the CCL this season. Last year when he came here, he balked when the bases were loaded for the Oaks. Eventually that led to the Oaks winning the game. 1-0 pitch gets away from Kamenko, but he picks it up quickly, keeps the runner at bay, 2-0 the count.
Kamenko's been doing a good job with getting throws that have been in the ground and making sure he scooped him up quickly, even if he missed it with his mitt.
To go along with those 14 innings pitched on 11 appearances for Dolan and Oxnard this past year, a 3.21 ERA. Fires in the 3-0. Missing low, and that's a 4-pitch walk to Fedone. The second walk of the inning given up by Dolan. And the Surf with a little bit of momentum, though down 6-1. The game's still early. And that brings up Tommy Acuna in a big spot, 2 on, 1 away. And the Surf trying to rally their way back into this game.
The Surf have been showing good patience here. They were down by so much, but it's good that they've been getting runners on base.
They're trying to fight their way back into this one as Dolan checks the runner at second and fires the 0-0 pitch upstairs for ball 1. The crowd continuing to file in here. It's filled in more to our left on the Oaks side. Handful of fans on the Surf side. A couple of scouts at the game as well. Dahlin toes the rubber, takes the sign from Kamiko. 1-0 pitch in the dirt, 2-0 the count. 8 consecutive balls now dealt from Dahlin. And head coach Solis, as well as Zach Kamiko from behind the plate, will have a conversation. David Solis now in his 12th season with the Oaks, though now in his 7th season as the head coach. Since 2013 has a 129-99 record. No CCL championships, but he's led this team to 10 CCL playoff appearances in 12 years. Only one losing season for head coach Solis. Not too bad. Played his baseball at Cal State LA. Graduated in 1994 from there. He's a history teacher and an esteemed baseball coach at Rio Mesa High School, about 25 minutes down the road in Oxnard, California. He has been a phenom here for the Oaks. He was the coach of the year last year in the CCL and the all-star coach for the South team. Meaning breaks the 2-0 pitches in, but it's fouled back out of play, 2-1 the count. And I see you, Sean, getting ready to make the catch. You have had one scare this season so far. Are you worried that there may be a second one?
I was more preparing for a scare than trying to make the catch. I was flinching because just a week ago a ball landed right where I was standing, so I wouldn't want a ball landing on my head.
But would you sacrifice your body for the camera that you are currently working?
Although I'm dedicated, I most certainly would not.
The 2-1 pitch is a grounder over to short. Shaken fires it over to second for one. The relay to first is in time, and the Oaks and the threat on a 6-4-3 double play. What a play. Shaken to right to west, and we are done with the top of the third inning. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, 1 left on base. We're through 2.5 here from Sparky Anderson Field. The Oaks lead 6-1 on the Oaks Broadcasting Network. Sam Shaken leads things off here for the Oaks. His second consecutive time leading off an inning. 0 for 1 with a fly out to right in his lone at-bat here today. New pitcher on the mound, though, for the Surf. Down 6-1 is Miguel Garcia, sporting a number 34 on his back out of Cal State LA, making his first appearance on the mound this season for the Surf. As he fires in the first pitch, swung and a miss by Shaken. 0-1 the count. That may be the first pitch swing that I've seen from Sam Shaken all season long. He's a big proponent on taking first pitches. By the way, Caden Gustafson's day is done. 2 innings pitched. He's given up 6 hits. 5 hits. My mistake on that. As the 0-1 pitch is fouled back against the screen, 0-2. On those 5 hits, 6 runs came across the plate. 4 were earned, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. A rough first start for the Colorado Mesa product, but Conejo Oaks are a powerhouse team, so those 2 strikeouts and 1 walk are probably sitting well with him. The 0-2 from Garcia is in the dirt, past the glove of Abdelnauer, though nobody on base, so nothing doing. One run, 1 hit, 2 errors for the Surf. 6 runs, 5 hits, and an error for the Oaks. Garcia offers the 1-2. Up near the shoulder of Shaken, he turns away from it, and that evens the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. 66 miles an hour on the gun.
The ball felt so close to Shaken that I flinched and I knocked the camera. I was scared for him.
2 balls, 2 strikes, and that one does Joe Shaken in the shoulder, the thing that he was trying to avoid on the last pitch. That one really caught up to him as he does hold that left arm, though I think he's okay. And now the Oaks have a leading base runner out on a hit by a pitch from Michael Tillman. If you're the Surf, the last thing you need to do or want to do is allow these Oaks free bases. You were able to garner some momentum, getting a hit and a couple base runners on, as well as a run back in the top half of the third. It would be a problem if you give free bases to the Conejo Oaks, because you are also giving them momentum, making way for your own. First pitch, the Pierce Junior College product, is taken for strike one. He's 0 for 1 on the day, but reached first base, back in the second inning on an error by the third baseman, Ryan Roche. Tillman came around to score the first run of the second inning thereafter. Garcia deals the 0-1. Upstairs, back pick attempt. Shaken gets back standing. The ball gets away from Shell, and Shaken on the heads-up play will stride over to second base as that ball slowly rolled into right field. Great heads-up play by Sam Shaken. His IQ is very, very high on the base paths, and you see why right there. The Oaks now have a runner in scoring position.
It was a smart move. It was an aware move. He was aware of his surroundings and what needed to be done.
That does count as a stolen base. And now there'll be a conversation by Matt Abdelnauer and Miguel Garcia on the dish, or on the pitch, as now Abdelnauer makes his way back to the dish. Runner in scoring position, no outs. Oaks lead 6-1 here. And a 1-1 count to Tillman. Takes a couple of twirls, shoulders the bat. The 1-1 offering is a curveball inside. 1-2 the count. Garcia now taking his time on the mound. A quiet day here at the ballpark, as the offering is skied down the right field line, but out of play. 2-2 the count. Tillman still finding his stroke here in the early part of the season. On Sunday in the loss to the Barons, he had a double and a run scored. The only run scored on the day for the Oaks in the 3-1 loss. He flew out 2 times and grounded out 1 other time in that game. Garcia shakes off a couple of pitches, checks the runner at second, and deals the 2-2. A 2-hopper over to short. Acuna fires it over to first for out number 1, but that advance is shaken over to third base. And a productive out for the Oaks as they have another base runner 90 feet away from crossing and putting another run up on the board. Zach Kamenko will try to get the job done here with 1 away. Kamenko is 1 for 1 on the day with a run scored and a single, sporting the red UNLV Rebel armband, and I think that's good luck. Every time I've seen him wear that armband, he's done something productive, whether it be behind the plate or in the batter's box. The 0-0. An off-speeder, missing inside. 1-0 the count.
And if he can do something productive here again, the Oaks will have scored in the first 3 consecutive innings.
And slow starts have been a motif for the Oaks here early on. More on that here in a moment as the 1-0 pitch drops low. 2-0 the count. And what I mean by that is the Oaks have trailed in every single one of their games this season. They only scored first before today once on Saturday, and even then they had to play from behind. After taking a 2-0 lead, the Barons exploded and took a 5-2 lead, and then eventually a 7-5 lead before the Oaks were able to score a couple of runs as the 2-0 pitches upstairs. 3-0 the count. The Oaks were able to score a couple of runs, tie up the game 7-7, and then eventually on the RBI single by Brandon Lewis win it in 11 innings, 8-7. If the Oaks don't trail here today, This would be the first game of the first 7 games where they haven't trailed in the ballgame. The 3-0 pitch. Swung on and cracked foul down the third base line. 3-1 the count. Miguel Garcia redshirted his first season in 2017 with the Golden Eagles. This past year had a 4.5 ERA in 2 innings pitched. He had 1 run and 1 hit, 2 walks and 1 strikeout in the only ball game against Cal State San Bernardino on May 3rd. Fires in the 3-1. Upstairs, ball 4, and Kamenko will take first base. Runners at the corners now, 1 away. Oaks lead 6-1. And that'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Tanner Wright, who's 0 for 1 with the ground out to first. Second walk drawn by the Oaks in this game. First walk given up by Garcia. Gustafson had a walk as well. Wright takes his time, playing on his home turf at Cal Lutheran. High stance. Slaps the first pitch he sees through the hole and into left field. Shaken will come in and score. And just like that, the Oaks are up 7-1 now. Tanner Wright continuing to lead the team in batting average. You see why right there. He chalks up his 4th RBI of the season as well.
Now batting for the Oaks, number 5.
And a lot of people ask, well, why does head coach Solis put the best hitter in the number 9 spot? Well, that's because of reasons like this. He's always had an idea where you have your top power hitter in at least the one of the first 4 spots, and then your top contact hitter in the bottom between the 7 and 9 spots. 0-0 pitch to Andrew Lucas is swung and missed for strike 1. Because when you get runners on base, you want a guy who can bring in those runners via small ball or the long ball. And more often than not, the number 9 hitter comes up with runners on base. And right there, Tanner Wright in the number 9 spot, the Oaks' best hitter so far, got the job done. The strategy has been working so far for Coach Solis. That 1 pitch is a changeup. Big swing and a miss by Lucas, 0-2 the count. He's 1 for 2 on the day with a 2 RBI triple, a run scored, and a ground out. He'll be known as a CSUN Matador come fall time. The 0-2 pitch in the dirt, swung on and missed for strike 3. Lucas is down swinging, and out number two, is up on the board. The first strikeout on the day for Garcia, the 3rd overall for the Surf.
With 3 big swings and misses in a row right there, it seemed like Andrew Lucas wanted to recreate something reminiscent of what happened on the first game of the season, his grand slam. The bases weren't loaded, but maybe he wanted to bring in a couple more runners.
He has the power just right there. Couldn't make contact. Michael Spears digs in and takes a first pitch ball. 0-1 the count. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Reached on air back in the second, stole second and scored, and struck out looking back in the first inning. Shouldering the bat here is Garcia. Takes the sign from his catcher, Abdelnauer. Checks on the runner at second in the form of Kamiko and deals the 1-0 pitch inside. 2-0 the count.
It's something that I haven't seen other teams do as much. Keep checking second for the leadoff, but if they can get one out eventually, it'll help.
2-0. Crosses the heart of the plate. 2-1 the count, and you're right. Tanner Wright did get picked off of first base back on Sunday against the Academy Barons. That's the first time I've ever seen a player get picked off in a CCL game. This is my 3rd year with the team, so it doesn't happen often. Most of the time, especially with 2 away, they're not worried about the base runners. 2-1 pitch is an off-speeder, cut on and missed. 2's across the board now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away, and 2 on here for the Oaks. Wind starting to die down a little bit, though, blowing steadily out to right. 3 to 6 mile-an-hour gusts. The 2-2. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Back-to-back strikeouts ends the 3rd inning here for the Surf. The Oaks score a run on a hit, no errors, 2 left on base. We're through 3 full here from Sparky Anderson Field. The Oaks lead 7-1. We'll be back for the 4th right after this on the Oaks Broadcasting Network.
Unmuted.
Back here, top of the fourth inning. Sean McKinnon, myself, Jonathan Rifkin. Oaks baseball. Oaks up 7-1. As Austin Shell checks in and takes a ball for the Golden Coast Community College product. He's 0 for 1 on the day with a ground out. The Surf trailing 7-1, looking to find their offense here as the 1-0 pitch is skied out of play. 1-1 in the count. 7 runs, 6 hits, an error for the Oaks. No runs, or excuse me, 1 run, 1 hit, 3 errors for the visiting Surf. The only run that came in was by way of a balk, as the 1-1 pitch is a blooper in the left field. That'll drop for a single. And Austin Shell is on for a leadoff single here for the Surf, their second base runner of the day. And that'll bring up Hank Schneller, 0 for 1 on the day with a ground out to third.
Shell did a good job of saying what I was saying was hard earlier in the game, seeing that ball fly from it, that one looked like it was going from the top of the head to the knees, but he swung on that one and it got him a base hit.
Yeah, that 12-6 curveball has been deadly all game long. Finally, a Surf batter was able to catch up to it. The first pitch into Schneller, taken on the inside corner for strike one. By the way, in the fifth inning, we will have the longest tenured Oaks player and possibly the longest tenured player in the CCL, Jackson Simonsgaard, up here for an interview. Stay tuned for that. That's going to be a fun one. No balls and a strike. Dahlin toes the rubber and deals. Low for ball one. 1-1 the count. Runner on. Nobody to wait here. Top of the fourth inning on a sunshiny day in Thousand Oaks, California. Temperature has dropped. Started off at 82, is now at 76. Extreme changes here from day to night in the Conejo Valley. 1-1 pitch. Skied down the right field line, but foul into the parking lot. Dahlin now is ahead in the count, 1 and 2 strikes. Oaks have nobody warming up. If Dahlin completes this inning, he will tie David Appleby for the most innings by an Oaks starter with 4. Appleby, of course, did that on Friday against the Academy Barons. 1-2. In the dirt, Kamiko able to block it, keep the runner at bay at first. Evens the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. There have been a lot of questions surrounding this Oaks team through the first week of the season. Obviously, it's not fully formed yet. We're still waiting on a couple of players. Joey DeSigli, Chase Cockrell, Evan McMillan, Keenan, to name a few. Dahlin deals the 2-2. Cracked over in between short and third into left field. Back-to-back singles here to lead off the fourth inning for the Surf, and they are building some momentum. One of the big questions has been what we just saw, consistent pitching. The Oaks have these stints where they look brilliant on the mound, and then they'll give up a couple of hits, and all of a sudden, it's a ball game again. Right now, they have a 7-1 lead. I wouldn't expect necessarily for that to happen here today, but it has happened throughout the first 6 games of the season. Pitching consistency has been, and I think will continue to be, the biggest Achilles heel for this team besides balls taken. As Matt Abdelnauer pops his first pitch up, Bart West making his way over to it and makes the basket catch for out number 1. Abdelnauer before that flew out to center. He's 0 for 2 now. Runners stay put at first and second, now 1 away.
Number 12, Ryan Roche.
Ryan Roche now digs in, 0 for 1 on the day. He struck out looking back in the third. But what I was saying is, the Oaks have taken more first pitch strikes than head coach Solis would want. You know, you're playing a video game. When I play baseball video games, I'm almost always swinging at that first pitch. And I asked him, well, you know, baseball tends to tell you, take the first pitch because if it's a ball, you're going to be ahead in the count. He said, no, this is summer ball. We're trying to swing. 0-0 pitch is upstairs to Roche, ball 1. So it'll be interesting to see if this team adjusts to that message. We saw Sam Shakin swing at a first pitch finally. He has been consistently taking first pitches for strikes and getting down in counts as of late. Dahlin has 1 up on the board and 2 on. Checks the runner and fires the 1-0 pitch. Popped up. behind home plate. Cam McCall has a little bit of room. Does he make the catch? No, he just misses it. Trying to brace himself because that ball can ricochet off the netting. He wasn't sure if it would, and it's better that he play it safe than actually make the catch, and I'm glad that he did what he did, because that puts a strike up on the board.
2 runners on base is exactly what the Surf needs, not the Waves. I'm thinking of Pepperdine.
They're wearing the Pepperdine
same
orange
colors,
color,
yeah.
exactly. You surf the Waves.
You do.
That'd be fun if they played each other. No, but you're absolutely right, Sean. Having these 2 base runners on with 1 away is what they need to do, but they have to convert. 1-1 pitch is a looping curveball at the knees. 1 and 2 they count. Double play situation here for the Oaks. Scoring situation for the Surf. And a strikeout situation now for Dahlin. This at-bat could either bring the Surf into this game with a little bit of momentum or completely kill the momentum that they've built up this inning. The Oxnard Commodore fires the 1-2 pitch. Cracked over to third. Lewis tags third base. Fires it over to first to West for the unassisted 5-3 double play. And we'll leave it there here in the top of the 4th inning. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and a pair left on base. We're through 3.5 from Sparky Anderson Field. The Oaks lead 7-1. They have the 3, 4, 5 batters due up on the other side of the break on the Oaks Broadcasting Network.
Ryan.
Tyler Ryan will lead things off here for the Oaks in the number 3 spot. He's 1 for 1 on the day with a single run scored and a walk. We'll look to continue the Oaks onslaught here as we hit the bottom of the 4th inning. Myself, Jonathan Rifkin, Sean McKinnon, our producer and color guy for today's game. Double duty here, Sean. I am duly impressed with the balance that you have had to maintain. It is not easy what you're doing, and I truly, truly commend you for doing it. Really putting forth a great product as well as offering your own insights here on the broadcast.
I appreciate it, Jonathan.
The Oaks up 7-1 here, looking to continue and push the lead further as the first pitch from Garcia to Ryan is over the heart of the plate for strike 1. Garcia came in the last inning, gave up a hit, a run, walked 1, and struck out 1, so he kind of did a little bit of everything. He also hit Sham Shaken. 0-1 pitch from him is a short blooper into center field. Will it drop? No, a beautiful sliding catch from Pratt out of short over his shoulder to make the catch for out number 1. Great play.
That is a great play, and that's exactly what you want to see. The Surf is starting to show what they have a little more now. They let the Oaks get an early lead in the game, but they've been playing better on offense and defense. They just got to keep that up for the rest of the game if they want to make a comeback.
Consistency, consistency, consistency here. And we'll see if the Surf can try to rain on the Oaks parade. But not before Brandon Lewis steps in and takes a strike. Lewis on the day is 2 for 2. 2 RBI shot out to left in the first. And then a single back in the second. He was stranded on first base thereafter. The 0-1 from Garcia is a curveball. Dropping low, evens the count. 1's across the board now. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away. 7 runs, 6 hits, and an error for the Oaks. 1 run, 3 hits, 3 errors for the Riptide. The 1-1. Skied high into center field. Carlos takes a couple of steps to his right and makes the catch for out number 2. Lewis had plenty of power under that one, but not enough oomph
I don't know if I had seen a hit higher than that this season. It seemed like 200 feet up.
I really do think so. I think that was as high as the field is far out there at left. 325 to left, 375 to left center, 400 to center, 370 to right center, and 320 to right center here at Cal Lutheran. Bart West steps in and takes a ball low. 1-0 the count to him. He's 0 for 2 with a lineout and a strikeout looking in 2 at-bats. Garcia deals the 1-0 to the USC Trojan, a curveball. Chopper over to third, out of play, 1-1 the count. West had to take a medical redshirt his freshman season at USC due to an injury. Rehabbing and fighting his way back here with the Oaks. If he continues to play that he has played so far this season, with the exception of all the strikeouts, it's the 1-1 pitch, a swung and a miss for strike 2. The Trojans will have a phenomenal young prospect on their team come fall. A Trojan team that has been struggling lately in the Pac-12. The 1-2. Low. Evens the count now. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sam Shaken waiting on deck. Michael Tillman waiting in the hole should we get that far in the inning. Bottom of the 4th. 2 away. Garcia shakes off the first sign from Abdul Nauer. Gets one he likes. Offers the 2-2. Slapped over to third on the second hop. Roche gets it. Deals it over to first in time for out number 3. The first time all game long the Oaks are retired in short order. 1-2 inning here for Garcia. We're through 4 full here from Sparky Anderson Field. The Oaks lead 7-1. Top of the 5th when we come back on the Oaks Broadcasting Network. Back here on the top of the 5th inning. My name is Jonathan Rifkin. Oaks up 7-1 over the Surf. I'm joined by esteemed Oaks pitcher and I guess kind of an intern at this point, Jackson Simonsgard, the longest tenured Conejo Oak in the history of the game, as the first pitch is a one-hopper over to third. Lewis deals it over to first, route number 1. That was Ryan Carpenter. He is now 0 for 2 on the day and a quick out number 1. You like what you see by Dolan so far in this game?
Yes, I love to see what he's doing so far. Played with him this past year, and I thought he pitched really well and deserved a shot to pitch on this team. And he's doing really well so far, and I'm really happy to see it.
1 away now for Christian Carlos. Jackson, you are now in your 5th season, 6th season?
5th season.
5th season with the Conejo Oaks. As the first pitch into Carlos is slapped over to first base, almost foul, but some spin was able to keep it fair as Bart West hustles over to first for out number 2. 2 pitches, 2 away here in the top of the 5th. What keeps you coming back?
I just love playing for this team. I love playing with other guys that are from different parts of the country. You know, you get to see how baseball's played in, different states, and I love it. I love this team. I love the competitiveness, but I also love how, you can stay laid back and and have a really good time and, joke around in the dugout a little bit, but everybody's still, they're on top of their game and they're ready to be put in the game any opportunity that they get. So
2 away, Clifford Pratt steps in, the number 9 hitter. He's 0 for 0 on the day with a walk. So the first pitch from Dahlin is dealt for strike 1. So you've seen a lot of players come and go over the years, from the likes of Chad Spanberger and the jokesters from the SEC, Jake Arledge, and some of the Texas Tech guys, all the way to this season with some of the new faces who have been coming up. Of course, last year, Frankie Tostado, who was only here for a couple of games, as the 0-1 pitch is fouled back, 0-2 the count. Over your 5 seasons, who has been, number 1, the best player? And I think I know, obviously, you're going to say. And number 2, who has been the most fun player? You give me even your top 3, the ones that you have most enjoyed.
Okay, I'd say the best player for what I've seen over the last couple of years, I have to go with Max Weinstein. Max Weinstein, yes, because he was a rock. Whether he's in a slump or he's not, he's always up there taking great hacks, situational hitting. If there's a man on second, no outs, 1 out, he's putting the ball on the right side. So he's been a rock for us, and I really wish he could play again this year. But after a tremendous senior year, that's it for him. So,
are you surprised he didn't get drafted?
I am very surprised, and I think he's going to be that player that everyone's going to look back on about 5 years from now. They're going to be like, why did we not draft him? Because he is a rock, and I'm saying that right now and put my money on it that he's going to be playing in the bigs one day. I got my money on that. I'll put my life savings on that, which might be about 50 cents, but hey, I'll take it.
I would double that life savings on that bet, because I truly believe that you are absolutely correct. Max Weinstein deserves a shot in the show, and I think he'll get it.
Absolutely.
By the way, a 1-2 count here to Prad. So Max Weinstein is the best player that you have seen over your course here, as that pitch is fouled back. Now let's go to the most fun, the ones that you have. I know Weinstein is a great player, but his personality is pretty stone cold. He's like business, business, business. I've never seen him crack a joke, maybe a cold one every now and again. But overall, there have been a lot of jokesters on this team, besides you, of course. Who have been some of your favorites?
I got to go with Sylvester. He always had something to say for every pitch, and he was always the guy to go after the umpires and have those really funny, one-liners.
Of course.
So it was a lot of fun to play with him. And then I'd say number 2, I got to go with Robbie Medell.
Robbie Medell.
Oh, yeah. A big-time guy right there. Another guy that just kept it loose in the dugout.
Is he one of the all-time great closers in the CCL history?
Absolutely. I mean, he gave up 1 or 2 runs in the last 2 years. So, yeah, no, definitely top guy. I hope Angus knows that he's got big shoes to fill this year.
Angus has done a great job so far this season trying to fill those shoes, but Robbie Medell out of Arizona looking to find his way to the show as well. The 2-2 pitch to Prad is a high fly ball to left field. Going back to the wall is Tillman, and that'll drop between him and Spears. Rounding second and staying put, actually, is Chris Prad, and the number 9 hitter in the lineup, keeping the inning alive here for the Surf. He's standing on second base with 2 away for Connor Fredone. So, Jake Sylvester, obviously, he played a year at CISA. Now he's back in Iowa, finishing up his education, being a football trainer. Are you surprised at all with his path?
No, I'm not, because after, I want to say about a year and a half ago, he played and, he enjoyed it, but I think he found his true love in the weight room, and you could see it, because last year when he showed up, he was in by far the best shape of his life. So I'm glad he found something that he truly loves and something that he can go after with a passion, and hopefully the rest of his life love his job.
Fedone takes a strike, 0-1 the count. He's 0 for 1 on the day with a walk and a ground out. So now let's get to you. Year number 5 with the Oaks. Mm-hmm. You've had your ups and downs. You've had some injuries. You've had some what have yous. It's been a long road. You finally are headed to Rogers State University, as that one is cracked over into right field. Rounding third and coming home is Prad. Out of second base, right dives on the ball, but there will be no play made. An RBI single puts the second run up on the board here for the Surf. They trail 7-2 now. The second RBI on the season for Fredone. So, first of all, what was the path like this past year? I know you pitched this past season. You did have an injury. Mm-hmm. How did it feel, number 1, to be back on the mound at Oxnard and then eventually find out that you're headed finally to not only a university, a 4-year university, but a 4-year university in a competitive conference in a competitive league?
It was big. It was a lot of fun this year, knowing that I had a place to go next year, and that the hard work's finally paid off, which maybe it took a couple years mentally for me to get there, but it's a blessing in disguise, because I feel like I'm on a much better path now, and I'm going to be a lot more prepared once I get up to Rogers State. So I'm looking forward to it.
What are the things that you have worked on? We've seen your stamina go up as Acuna swings and misses. The throw is not in time. That'll be a wild pitch. Gets Fedona over to second base. We've seen you obviously work on your stamina and your control. And last year, I think, at least from what I saw, you were at your best with the Oaks. How did you capitalize this past year with Oxnard after that great season? And I do remember there's a story I'm going to tell here after that I want you to give some light on. But what did you do to capitalize on that great season with Oaks last year?
Well, it actually paid off because the assistant coach from Rogers State is the assistant coach of the Foresters, and I'm not the biggest fan of the Foresters, being a Conejo Oaks faithful and them being our rival. So I had very good stats against them last year, and he saw me pitch, and he liked what he saw, and he talked to my pitching coach from Oxnard and heard I wasn't signed, so then he gave me a call, and it paid off. I signed with him, and I'm really excited to get up there.
Let's talk about your Oaks stats last season. 1.36 ERA, a 4-0 record, and 33 innings pitched. That led the team. 39 strikeouts, and you talk about you're not a big Foresters fan. I think you know the story I'm about to tell is the 1-2 pitch is swung and missed in the dirt. We'll keep it here, though, for out number 3. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. Oaks lead 7-2 now here in the about to be the bottom of the 5th. We're going to keep it here. So last year against the Foresters, you had a couple of opportunities to pitch against them. You were able to complete a save in which there was some jawing, there was some evil glances, and I remember you interviewing you after the game, and you certainly held back some choice words. Thank you for doing that, by the way, in hindsight. But the passion that you had, I've never seen you happier and more passionate off the mound after your own performance than in that moment. Do you think that in your Conejo Oaks career is the best moment, shutting down the Foresters and giving the Oaks a win that eventually actually clinched them the playoff spot?
Yes, that is by far my favorite Oaks moment. My first year on the Oaks, I had some wake-up calls against them, and that's why I've always kind of gone against them because they're a very good team, and I got smacked around my first year. So since then, I've just been trying to step up, and I'm really, really happy with the opportunity that I got last year, and I was glad that I was able to take advantage of it because I am not a big fan of the Foresters.
And yet, you get to play for one of their coaches at Rogers State.
Yep.
So now we're this season. You have yet to hit the mound, of course, but you've been doing your due diligence elsewhere, ticketing our fellow fans and whatnot, interacting with people. Always, I'm sure they enjoy seeing your smiling faces. Sam Shakin steps in. What do you think about the team this year? Obviously, now you're in your 5th year. You kind of have a feel for how summer ball is like as the first pitch is Shakin is taken for strike 1. He's 0 for 1 on the day. And you've seen some of these guys before. Obviously, Brandon Lewis had that big home run back in the first inning. We've been waiting for him to wake up. Sam Shakin is struggling here to start the season. The team overall, a little bit inconsistent. Offensively hasn't really woken up. The pitching has been a little bit hit or miss as well. What do you foresee for the future? What have you seen, the positives and the negatives here through the first week of the season?
Yeah, you know what? I think it's been a typical up-and-down season to start off summer ball. Everybody comes off their very long season, whether they just played the whole entire season or they redshirted and, had to sit the pine for whatever reason. You come in and you're not exactly tired, but you're just not in the swing of things yet, and the schedule's, kind of intense. You play a lot of games in a row. So I'd say give it about a week, and we'll be there. We'll be where we need to be. The consistency will be there. We got a young team, a very hungry team. So I think once we get going here, once we start getting into the basics of everything, we're gonna start winning some ball games.
Speaking with Jackson Simonsgaard, 5th year with the Oaks, and I feel like you're also kind of a coach at times because it's not like you're out there, coaching first base like Max Weinstein does at times, but they definitely give you an opportunity, I feel like, to have your say because you are a veteran, and that must feel good. These guys come from all over the country, as you said. They play their hearts out at Division I, II, and III University. As Shakin slaps one right into the glove of Roche at third base for out number 1. But you're a veteran here. You're a leader. And you get to give advice to these guys that some of them will be drafted. How does that feel for you, and how seriously do you take that job?
I take it extremely seriously, and it took some years to realize the weight of words, especially if you're a veteran on a team. The younger guys, they come to you looking for advice and looking for pointers, and you know, it's something you need to take seriously, and that's for anybody who's listening. When people are asking for advice, you don't take it lightly. You got to take it seriously because they're asking for help. So, and even if they're not, you know, when you're talking about what you do in certain situations, you want to. You know, you want to give them the best possible example to help them in that situation, you know, later on in the season. So you gotta be smart with your words. You gotta be smart with what you say, and things will work out.
Michael Tillman batting now, facing a 1-1 count. He's 0 for 2 on the day. So what about for you? When we see you out there, what can we expect from Jackson Simonsgard?
Well, I'd say probably the first week, some slow fastballs, just getting back into the swing of things, and then some power pitching. You know, that's what I like to do. I like to attack hitters, get after them. You know, bust them inside, break some bats. That'd be nice. Keep my fingers crossed for that. And yeah, just give it about a week once I come back, and hopefully you guys will see the old Jackson.
The 1-2 pitch swung and missed. Strike 3, out number 2. Michael Tillman goes down. His struggles continue. He's now 1 for his last 14 at-bats, including 5 strikeouts, a second strikeout on the day for Garcia. My final question, before we wrap up this inning, as Zach Hammoncoat digs in, he's 1 for 1 with a walk, a run scored, and a single. What is the most embarrassing thing that has happened to you as a pitcher in your career?
Most embarrassing
moments, series of moments, what have you.
Jackson. I got one, and it's for the Conejo Oaks, and it's perfect. My first outing on the Conejo Oaks after my senior year of high school. I came in feeling like a hot shot, like, oh yeah, I'm on this team. I just had a pretty good senior year, and I did what I typically did back when I was 19 years old. I gave up a hit, and I walked somebody, first and second, no outs, and I was like, okay, you know, it's a 2-1 count against this next batter. I'm just going to throw a get-me-over fastball, and he hit it off the top of the foul pole in right field. That was embarrassing because, you know, you have all these big guys coming from their D1 college looking at him like, who's this high schooler giving up a 3-run bomb off of the foul pole? And, yeah, that was pretty embarrassing. That, or a very small one, would be sometimes I slip and fall on my butt on my curveball. Don't know why, but I do.
I do remember you did that 2 years ago. I do remember, and that was one of the more fun calls I had. Well, Jackson, it's always a pleasure having you, always a pleasure talking with you. And we can't wait to see you out there and see what Jackson Simonsgard can do for an Oaks team that is, I think, in need of a little bit of Jackson Simonsgard oomph on the mound.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Joey Vargas is going to take the mound when we come back. Oaks lead 7-5, top of the 6th after this on the Oaks Broadcasting Network. Oh, Jackson Simonsgard, what a guy. Always a pleasure to have him up here on the broadcast as we welcome you back, Sean. Doing a great job producing as well as doing some color. Oaks lead 7-2. New man on the mound for the Oaks is Vargas. He comes in for Aiden Dolan, who went a total of 5 innings. Gave up a total of 5 hits, 2 runs. Both were earned. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Vargas is getting ready to pitch his first at-bat against Austin Shell, who's 1 for 2 on the day with a single and a ground out. First pitch from the lefty is fired in up and away for ball 1. In his one and only appearance for, Vergara, my mistake, 1 inning, 1 save, 3 strikeouts, and all 3 batters he faced to clinch the 8-7 11-inning win for the Oaks on Saturday. Deals the 1-0, skied over to right field, running back on it is Lucas, and it's over his head to the wall. Rounding first, going to second is Shell, and he will stay put there after the throw comes in for a leadoff double. He left the 4th inning with the first hit of the ballgame for the Surf with a single, and recreating that here, though, 90 feet further at second base.
The Surf has held the Oaks scoreless in 2 straight innings. And now they need to do, now what they need to do is put some scores up on the board to get back in this game. And apparently that's what they're starting to do. He took a big run over to second, and he's in scoring position.
John Vergara, one of 3 Oaks lefties. Jackson Simonsgard, who we just had up here for an interview, was another one. Nick Ringcover, the third. First pitch runs upstairs to Hank Schneller for ball 1. He's 1 for 2 on the day with a single and a ground out. One of 2 Division I baseball players on this Surfs roster. In the Surfs lineup, I should say. A couple of Division I players on the roster. Vergara toes the rubber and fires the 1-0 upstairs, ball 2, 2-0 the count. 7 runs, 6 hits, an error for the Oaks. 2 runs, 6 hits, 3 errors for the visiting Orange County Surf. Matt Abdelnauer waiting on deck. 6 hits for the Oaks is not good. It's the 7 runs that they've been able to capitalize as the 2-0 pitches a strike on the inside corner, 2-1 the count. That's made the difference.
And I think the way they've been able to capitalize is because, if you notice, the Surf and the Oaks have the same amount of hits. They both have 6 hits. But the difference is the errors that the Surf have made. That's what's given the Oaks extra bases.
The 2-1 pitch is an off-speeder, swung right through by Schneller. Beautiful pitch right there from John Vergara. Strike number 2. Vergara calls Glendale City College his home. Just finished up his sophomore campaign. He toes the rubber and fires the 2-2. A 2-hopper over to second. Right over to it. Fires it over first for out number 1. Runner advances to third on the play of that Shell. And now the Surf have a runner 90 feet away from scoring. And they are slowly chipping away. Look, they're only down by 5 runs with 3 innings to go. If they can get a pair of runs here, hold the Oaks offense at bay and continue doing what they're doing, we could have a ball game on our hands. Holding the lead is not something we've seen the Oaks do because they've come from behind in every single one of their games, or at least played from behind. They only scored first once back on Sunday in the 3-1 loss. They scored in the first inning and didn't score the rest of the game. Vergara fires the first pitch to Abdelnauer. Home run swing misses for strike 1. Give you a reiteration of the Oaks field here in a moment as Vergara takes the sign from Zach Kamiko behind the dish. Checks the runner at third and fires the 0-1. Outside, evens the count. Andrew Lucas, Michael Spears, and Michael Tillman from right to left in the outfield. Bart West over at first, Tanner Wright at second, Sam Shaken at short, Brandon Lewis at third behind the dish, Zach Kamiko. And on the mound is John Vergara, second Oaks pitcher of the day. Fires in the 1-1. At the knees, strike 2, and the lefty is dealing. He doesn't pitch very fast, in the mid-80s for his fastball, but he has a very nice curveball and has a very keen pitch placement sense. He knows where the strike zone is, and he knows how to hit it, sometimes too well. The 1-2 pitch slapped over to third, but foul. We'll do it again. Feel free to tweet at us at Caneo_Oaks. He's at McKinnon_Sean. I'm at Johnny Riff with 1F. Or chat with us in the YouTube chat box. Always love to hear what fans have to say. We are going to start running a Twitter promotion here today. And we'll tell you what that Twitter question is in the next inning. Top of the 6th. 1 away. Runner in scoring position. 1-2 count to the Midland University product. One-two pitch is in the dirt. Foul tipped but caught by Kamiko for strike 3. The first strikeout on the day for Vergara, the third overall for the Oaks, and that's a big second out. The Surf are in danger of stranding a runner in scoring position.
And that's something they can't do at this point in the game. We're already at the top of the 6, and they're down by 5, so they need to bring at least a runner in right here.
Ryan O'Shea digs in 0 for 2. Strikeout looking and a ground out into a double play. 0-0 pitch. Swung on and foul, tipped into the glove of Kamiko for strike 1. That was the fastest fastball we've seen by Vergara all day at 87. Vergara, one of 2 Glendale CC players. He fires in the 0-1. Upstairs, ball 1, 1-1 the count. Nickering cover the other.
It's not showing on camera, but the third baseman leads off every time the ball comes in. It looks like he would be ready to steal home if the ball runs past our catcher.
Yeah, Shell trying to cross home plate here as the 1-1 pitch is a big rip and a miss for strike 2. And that's what I'm talking about with the placement, because these are fastballs. They're hittable fastballs. But Vergara has recognized where he can throw it to keep these batters off balance. And that's exactly what he did right there to Ryan Roche, the Montana State product, one of the 2 Division I baseball players in this lineup. Foul tips the 1-2 pitch. And we'll do it again, 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Oaks will be back home tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. All games at 4:30, 4:15 for the pregame show. Tomorrow is against the Ventura County Pirates. An interleague game, but they are an associate to the California Collegiate League, meaning if they do well enough this season against CCL teams, they will join the league next year. 1-2 pitch, bounces in the dirt, gets away from Kamiko, but not far enough to score the runner from third and Shell. That evens count at 2-2. For those who remember, the Ventura County Pirates are in their 4th year of existence, their 3rd year playing CCL teams. They tried getting in last season, but there were too many teams with 14 in the league. A bunch drops, and now there's an opportunity. And the Ventura County Pirates are going to be good, mark my words. 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Strike 3. A pair of strikeouts ends the inning here for the Surf. No runs, a hit, no errors. They strand a runner on third base. Bottom of the 6th inning we go. Oaks lead 7-2 when we come back. Back here, bottom of the 6th inning between the Oaks and the Surf. Hope everybody's enjoying their Tuesday afternoon, now early evening. No matter where you're watching or how you're watching, we appreciate you making us a part of your Tuesday evening plans. New batter in the batter's box for the Oaks is Will Pickett. He comes in place of Tanner Wright, who finished his day 1 for 2 with an RBI single and a ground out. New pitcher on the mound is Nathan Hull, and he drills Pickett's in the back shoulder. And Pickett is on first base now. The first pitch he sees gives him first base. Nathan Hull, by the way, from Mount Sac Junior College, comes in place of Miguel Garcia, who went 3 innings, gave a hit, a run, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. Now we go back to the top of the order for Andrew Lucas. By the way, Will Pickett's batting .089 before that. gets hit for his 3rd time of the season. Andrew Lucas on the day 1 for 3, but that one hit was a big one. A 2 RBI triple back in the 2nd that eventually led him to score as well. Contributed to 3 of the 4 runs, either by a swing of the bat or by a cross of home plate back in that 2nd inning. A 2nd inning that has proved to possibly be the difference in this ball game. First pitch to him. Misses for ball 1. Cole toes the rubber and fires the 1-0. And that one drills Lucas right in the back as well. And that puts 2 runners on in 3 pitches by way of hit by a pitch. And now the head coach for the Surf, Matt Stark, wants to have a conversation. No, he's actually just coming out to give the ball to his catcher. It looked like that, as Elijah Alexander will come in as a pinch runner here for Andrew Lucas.
Pinch running for Andrew Lucas at first base.
And that's definitely an asset for the Oaks. Elijah Alexander has some serious speed.
2 stolen bases on the season, both on Sunday against the Barons. The big bat from the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley, now standing at first base. Michael Spears digging in now. 0 for 3 in his opening Oaks campaign, opening day, as he spears one into right field. Making way to it is Carpenter, and he makes the catch for out number 1. Spears is now 0 for 4 in his first day in an Oaks uniform. Double play situation now in effect here, as Tyler Ryan will dig in on the day for the University of Pacific Tiger. 1 for 2 with a walk, a single run scored, and a pop out to short. Give you a reiteration of the Surf field here in just a moment. Unless a double play is hit, in that case I'll do it on the next top of the inning, which would be the 7th. First pitch, runs low and inside for ball 1. There was a fake steal over at second base by Pickett's. It looked like he was going to go. The second baseman, Tommy Acuna, yelled runner. I think that threw the pitcher whole off just a little bit, and Pickett's held back up and ran back to second base. Want to know the count here? To Ryan. Hold deals. Chopped over to third, but foul. 1 ball, 1 strike now to the Pacific Tiger. Tomorrow, the Oaks, as I mentioned in the top of the inning, will play the Ventura County Pirates. That will be the final of the interleague games. The Academy Barons are back here on Thursday. The SoCal Catch on Friday. That's the first of a 2-game series. The Oaks will head to Biola to play the Catch on their home turf on Saturday. Runner goes, though, 1 pitch. Slapped foul into the Oaks dugout. 1-2 the count.
There was a steal. Oh, just kidding.
It looked like, I think, the hit and run was on. The Oaks trying to eliminate that double play threat, as Coach Stark will come out here for the Surf. I almost said the Riptide, and have a conversation. He wants to talk to his entire infield. Double play situation in effect. Runners on first and second. A 1-2 count here to Ryan. For the Surf, now in their 4th year of existence. We're part of the Sunset Baseball League for the last 2 years, now independent. Their head coach, Matt Stark, from Whittier, California, was a first-round draft pick, actually, the 9th overall pick by the Toronto Blue Jays back in 1983. He played professionally for 28 years between a manager, a coach, and a scout. He had brief stints in high school as an athletic director, and a baseball coach at the collegiate level. He was a hitting coach for the Florida Marlins back in 2003 and has a World Series ring on their player development staff. He ended his career both in the Mexican League or as a coach and a player, in the Mexican League. This team is very fortunate to have such a talented baseball mind spearheading their program. The 1-2 pitch is popped high in the sky to center field. 3 players converging and making the play out of short is Clifford Pratt for out number 2. Runners stay put at first and second.
With 2 outs on the board, 2 runners on base, and a 7-2 score, I feel like this is a critical point in the game. There's, like I said, 2 runners on base for the Oaks, And if they bring more in, they're going to extend their lead, and that'll hurt the Surf. But if the Surf can hold them off here from scoring, they're still in this ball game.
The Surf trying to stifle the Oaks' momentum. Both teams with only 6 hits, but the Oaks have been capitalizing. Brandon Lewis steps in and takes the first pitch upstairs for ball 1. He's 2 for 3 on the day with a 2 RBI home run back in the first, a single in the second, and a fly out to center in the fourth. Was originally committed to CSUN after his first year at Pierce Junior College. Last year, decommitted from CSUN, played another year at Pierce, and is now headed to Irvine in the fall. Hold checks the runner and deals the 1-0 inside, 2-0 the count. And a lot of people were surprised that Lewis didn't get drafted this past season in the MLB first year player draft, I should say. But I think Lewis is pretty happy. He's going to rake in the WCC at Irvine and expect his name to be called pretty high in the upcoming drafts. The 2-0 pitch is a towering fly ball to left field. Will it stay fair? No, but a beautiful catch out of left field by Connor Fedone ends the inning. The Oaks get no runs on no hits, no errors, and 2 left on base by way of a hit by a pitch. We're through 6 full now. To the top of the 7th we go. Carpenter, Carlos, and Pratt due up for the Surf right after this on the Oaks Broadcasting Network. Back here in the top of the 7th, Sean McKinnon, myself, Jonathan Rifkin with you. Oaks up 7-2 as Ryan Carpenter digs in. 0 for 2 on the day with a ground out to first and a ground out to third in his 2 trips. Vergara back on the mound for his second inning of work. Deals a fastball low for ball 1. The Oaks have a couple of fielding changes. Elijah Alexander takes the place of Michael Spears in center. Andrew Lucas still in right. Michael Tillman still in left. Infield here in a moment. The 1-0 pitch. Foul tipped back into the glove of Kamiko for strike 1. 1-1 the count. First base is still the same. Bart West. Over at second is Tanner Wright. Sam Shakin's day is done. As Will Pickett takes over at short. Brandon Lewis still at third. The 1-1 pitch is upstairs. 2-1 the count. Vergara gave a hit and a strikeout, had a strikeout in the 6th. No runs, though. Deals the 2-1. Upstairs, 3-1 the count, and now he's missing high as the Oaks have a couple of pitchers warming up in their bullpen.
Good patience here by the Surf. At the beginning of this inning, they definitely need a man on base. So throughout the next outs that will eventually come, they can get him to home.
3-1. Missing inside, ball 4. Vergara walks his first batter of the day. The first walk he's given up all season as well, and the Surf have a runner on now with nobody away. They've had a leadoff runner on each of the last 3 innings now after being hitless and runnerless through the first 3 innings of the ballgame. The patience has been paying dividends, though they have yet to convert, and that is a problem. Getting on base is one thing, scoring is another thing. Christian Carlos digs in here, trying to turn around his 0 for 3 day. Reached on error and scored on a balk. Takes a first pitch low for ball 1. When you come to George Sparky Anderson Field, you'll be handed a program. A program that looks incredible. And I know I'm going to be tooting my own horn as the 1-0 pitch is upstairs, swung on a miss for strike 1. But I was up all night creating this program. And I think I've accomplished a lot in my life, Sean. But this program, I think, may be some of my best work yet. And I am very excited that it has made its debut here today at Sparky Anderson.
I'll pin it up in my room.
The 1-1, low and inside, 2-1 the count. I don't know if it's that great. But I think given the platform to toot my own horn here a little bit, might as well take advantage, right? Overall, I'm proud with the final product. But you know what? It's baby steps, right?
Jonathan, I have such confidence in your ability that I don't even need to see it.
The 2-1 pitch goes in between short and third in the left field for a single. Back-to-back base runners here for the Surf. Second hit given up by Vergara. They have now surpassed the Oaks in hits. 7-6 up on the board. Runners on first and second, nobody away. You know, at the end of the day, I think that everybody should be proud of the work that they do in this world. As long as it's good, as long as it's productive, and as long as it makes everybody else's lives around them a little bit better. That is the only anecdote I will give you all day long, even though I have a lot. But there is a long season. I can't blow them all in one broadcast here, as there's a meeting on the mound between head coach Shalise, Zach Kamiko, the catcher, and John Vergara, the pitcher. Still warming up in the Oaks pen is number 20, Bo Jelenik from the University of San Francisco. Meeting breaks, and we're back to baseball. 2 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors for the Surf. 7 runs, 7 hits, and an error for the Oaks. The Oaks have stranded 6 on base so far today. 3 for the Surf. 2 on. Clifford Pratt out of the number 9 spot taking in. He's 1 for 1 with a walk, a double, and a run scored. First pitch dealt to him is low for ball 1. Feel free to tweet at us at Caneo_Oaks. I'm at Johnny Riff. He's at McKinnon_Sean. Chat with us in our YouTube chat box. Always love to interact with fans. Questions, comments, concerns, whatever it is. Feel free to reach out. 1-0 pitch runs away. 2-0 the count. As always, a shout-out to Oaks' former general manager, Vern Merrill. Watching from the beaches of Hawaii. Vern, I have to say I'm incredibly jealous of you. I hope I make it enough in my life where I can retire to the beaches of Hawaii and watch some quality summer collegiate baseball. The 2-0 pitch. Home run swing. Misses everything. 2-1 the count. Shout out to the Appleby family, of course. His mother, Victoria, in the crowd here today. David Appleby will likely not see the mound today, but will probably go tomorrow. Vergara toes the rubber and fires the 2-1 pitch. That one is sliced in the left field. Tillman making way, but that one's going to drop and go to the wall. Rounding third and coming home is Carpenter. Being waved behind him is Carlos, but actually he'll put on the brakes. And that is an RBI double for Clifford Pratt in the 9 spot. He is now 2 for 2 with a pair of doubles. And the Surf have a little bit of momentum with nobody away and runners in scoring position. They are trailing by 4, 7-3. First run given up by Vergara. 3 hits now he's given up on the ball game. And the Surf with a little bit of momentum. They have the tying run on deck. If Fedone can do something here. They trail by 4. And still some opportunities left with nobody away. Lefty on lefty matchup here. The first pitch. Taken at the knees for strike 1. Fedone on the day is 1 for 2. He singled in an RBI back in the fifth, walked in the 3rd, and grounded out to first back in the 1st inning. The 0-1. Foul tipped into the glove of Kamiko. Strike 2. Jelenik still warming up in the Oaks pen. The lefties both taking place. One in the batter's box, one on the pitcher's mound. Vergara offers the 0-2. Cracked over to third, just foul though. Lewis was reaching for it, couldn't extend far enough. And we'll do it again, no ball and 2 strikes. And how about Jackson Simonsgard out there fielding some of those loose balls? Last year we counted, he went out of the ballpark to field over 40 balls over the season that would go awry. He is a pitcher, a leader on this team, and he does it for more than just on the mound. He does it from the dugout, from the press box, doesn't matter where. The 0-2 pitch runs upstairs, 1-2 the count.
The Surf has done everything that they've needed to do to get back in this game. They've held the Kingsmen scoreless in 3 straight innings. They've eliminated their errors. They haven't had an error since around the 3rd inning, and they've been getting runners on base. So
1-2 pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3. And Connor Fredone goes down swinging his first strikeout of the game, the second here for Vergara.
They're doing everything they need to be doing to stage a comeback.
And we'll see if Vergara's day is done as Solis strides to the mound. The former pitching coach turned head coach taking double duty here. Oaks had former Oxnard pitching coach, Coach Hernandez, as their main pitching coach. As Vergara's day now is done. Bo Jelenik from the University of San Francisco will stride over to the mound as Vergara gets a round of applause. Runners on second and third base, 1 away for Tommy Acuna when we come back right here on the Oaks Broadcasting Network. Back here, top of the 7th inning, top of the 7th inning, a pair of base runners on. Sorry about that. So the new pitcher on the mound is Bo Jelenik. Vergara's day is done. 1 1/3 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 run. It was earned, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts on the season for Jelenik out of the University of San Francisco. He has 3 appearances, an 0-0 record, a 2.25 ERA, which is pretty good to start the season. In 4 innings, he's given up 3 hits, 1 run. 2 walks and 1 strikeout. The first pitch into Acuna is taken for ball 1. Runners in scoring position here. At second is Clifford Pratt. At third is Christian Carlos. Connor Fredone is the only strikeout of the game. Ryan Carpenter came around to score earlier. The 1-0 pitch to Acuna is low for ball 2. Acuna on the day 0 for 3. A flyout, a groundout, and a strikeout for the Santa Ana Junior College product. Looking at turning around here, he represents a big at-bat. Trying to put the Surf within reaching distance. If he can score both those runners. Jelenik deals the 2-0. Missing low and outside, 3-0 the count. Big spot here for Jelenik. He hasn't had a lot of issues locating pitches lately. We'll see here, though, if he can push one across the plate with a 3-0 count. Nods and deals. That one was taken for ball 4. It looked over the heart of the plate, but it must have missed high. And that's a 4-pitch walk on the first batter that Jelinek has faced all day long, and that loads up the bases.
Jelenek's going to need to find the zone so that he doesn't walk another batter, because that'll put the Surf at 4-7, and you don't want a 3-run differential as a lead.
How about this? Austin Shell, who's 2 for 3 on the day with a single, a double, and a ground out, represents the game-tying run. 7-3, bases loaded. Here we go. First pitch in. Up and away for ball 1. Jelinek should not shy away. The moment you shy away from a batter, they're in the driver's seat. They have all the confidence. You want to out-confidence the person that you're facing, whether you're a pitcher or a batter. If Jelinek shows weakness here, then Shell could capitalize. The 1-0 misses outside. 2-0 the count. Now 6 straight balls here to start Jelenek's outing of the day. The Surf, coming into today, had only put around 6 runs through their first 4 games. 2-0. Finally a strike at 73 across the heart of the plate. 2-1 the count. They have 3 so far here today. The Oaks scored first in the bottom of the first inning on a 2-run home run by Brandon Lewis. Then they capitalized on a big second inning, putting across 4 runs. The Surf scored their first run in the third. The Oaks responded with 1 in the third as well. The 2-1 pitch goes past the glove of Lewis and into left field. 1 run comes in to score. The throw will not be in time, and sliding it safely as a relay over to third gets an out was Prad. Carlos and Prad come in to score. Acuna tried to take third base on the throw home and was tagged out for out number 2. And at first base on the 2 RBI single was Austin Shell. He's 3 for 4 on the day.
And that's exactly what you didn't want to happen if you were the Oaks, and what you did if you were the Surf. 5-7 in the ball game now. And it might be getting a little nervous for the Oaks. 2-run differential with a man on first, and the Surf have been hitting well.
Those runs all earned to John Vergara. He ends his day now with 3 earned runs under his belt. First pitch in to Hank Schneller, taken for ball 1. How about Austin Shell in his inaugural day for the Surf? 3 for 4, 2 RBIs. 1-0 pitch. A 62-mile-an-hour changeup taken at the knees for strike 1. It is so hard to catch up with that if you're a batter. 5 runs, 9 hits, 3 errors for the Surf. 7 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for the Oaks. The 1-1. Cut over to third. Lewis gets it on the second hop, fires it over to right at second for out number 3. 3 big runs come around on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. It's the 7th inning stretch. Grab a nice snack and something to drink. We got a ball game on our hands. Bottom of the 7th after this. Oaks lead 7-5. You're watching Oaks Baseball on the Oaks Broadcasting Network. In real baseball, yes. In our baseball, no.
Take out your ticket stubs.
New pitcher.
The winner of $35 is
Woo!
number 01380. Again, 01380. Please pick up your winnings in the press box behind the plate. Thank you.
Or donate it to the Oaks. It's like that. It's like $5 or something. It's 50-50, so we keep half and they keep half. They take half. So I guess we got $70. That's not bad. I mean, that's pretty bad, but it's not bad. back here, bottom of the 7th inning. We apologize, our mics were left on, but a fan did win $35 in our 50-50 raffle, which was what we were talking about. If you want to get some money or at least have an opportunity, come down to the games. $5 to enter. You have an opportunity to win some money, watch some good baseball. Always a pleasure to host some new fans out here at the ballpark. Bart West will lead things off here for the Oaks. The new pitcher on the mound for the visiting Orange County Surf is Matthew Mao from Cal State LA. Takes the place of Nathan Hull, who went 1 inning. No runs, no hits, no walks, and no strikeouts for him on the day. Mao is the 4th Surf pitcher, and we have a ball game. It's 7-5. If the Surf can capitalize on their big top of the 7th by shutting down the Oaks and continue to push across some runs in the 8th, things can get real interesting. First pitch from Mao to West. Runs up and away for ball 1. West on the day 0 for 3. A strikeout, a line out, and a ground out under his belt. Looking to try to get on base here as the 1-0 pitch runs away. 2-0 the count. Hope everybody's enjoying their Tuesday evening. It's been a very nice temperature at the ballpark. Now it's 74. The 2-0. Upstairs, ball 3. And Bart West, who has yet to walk this season, now has an opportunity here to be a leadoff base runner for the Oaks. Now, in his first batter faces, trying to put across the first strike of the game. Called on the outside corner for a strike. 3-1 the count. For the Surf, after today's game, as Mao deals the 3-1. Outside ball 4, 5-pitch walk for West will lead things off here for the Oaks. In their half of the 7th inning, the 3rd walk drawn on the game for Conejo. Tomorrow, the Surf will be headed to Biola University to play the SoCal Catch. That'll be their final of a 2-game stand against CCL teams. They'll head to the SoCal Bombers, play home at La Sierra College. And then Orange County Waves for a 2-game series to end the weekend. As Raymond Gomez digs in here and takes a first pitch ball. That ends Sam Shakin's day. He went 0 for 2, was hit by a pitch and came around to score. Flew out and grounded out as well. That pitch gets away from the catcher Abdelnauer, but West stays put at first. Count is 2 balls and no strikes now. Raymond Gomez for the Oaks on the season out of Oxnard College is batting .156. Leads the Oaks in at-bats with 19. Swings that bat high over his shoulder. The 2-0 pitch. Big rip and a miss. 2-1 the count. He does have a home run, though. The first run of the game back on Saturday against the Barons. Solo shot over the left field fence. He was batting second in the lineup in that game. He has a great bat, though sometimes can overcompensate if he tries to pull a pitch. He goes opposite field and will hit out or ground out. But I expect to see him starting to heat up here as we hit the main part of the season. The 2-1 pitch is taken upstairs, 3-1 the count. Michael Tillman waiting on deck. In the hole is Zach Kamenko. Should we get that far, though a lot of pinch hitters coming in for the Oaks. We'll see how much of the lineup stays the same here. Mao deals the 3-1 pitch. Outside ball 4, and the Oaks get back-to-back walks to kick off their half of the 7th inning. This is a big stint for them because they gave those 3 runs in the 7th. Only a 2-run deficit now. But for the Surf, they've built up a lot of momentum over the last 3 innings. They've scored the last 4 runs of the ball game. If they give up the momentum here, it'll all be for naught because the Oaks will likely take the momentum with them through the latter half of this game.
They've put themselves in a... Oh, here we go.
No worries as Michael Tillman digs in. He's 0 for 3 and takes a first pitch ball.
They've put themselves in a precarious situation. They gave up 2 easy walks, and the pitcher didn't even give the field a chance to do work. But if they can if the Surf can stay in it, they might be all right.
The 1-0 pitch runs upstairs, 2-0 the count. Mao has given up 2 walks so far. He's only pitched 1 strike now in his last 10 pitches. And the Oaks are threatening. Tillman looking to finally reach base via a hit. Reach base on an error back in the second. Came around to score, but has yet to do anything else after that. 2-0 becomes 3-0 on a pitch up and in. Now Michael Tillman may walk as well. 3-0 pitch taken. Outside, ball 4 in the first 3 batters that Mao has faced. He's walked. Oaks have bases loaded and nobody away for Zach Kamenko, who's 1 for 2 on the day. Now 5 walks given up by the Surf, and that is not a good number. If you're head coach Matt Stark, at what point do you pull out your pitcher? Well, they already have 2 arms warming up in the pen. This is a big spot. If they can get an out, or at least 2 outs, maybe a double play as Coach Stark comes out, that could be a momentum change, as it looks like we are going to have a pitching change. 1 strike in 13 pitches pitched by Mao, and his day is over. He pitches a total of no innings, no hits, no runs, no earned, 3 walks, and no strikeouts. The new pitcher will be number 45, Jason Faris from Irvine Junior College. More on him when we come back. 7-5 the score, bases loaded, nobody out for the Oaks, and Zach Kamenko up when we come back. Matthew Mao's day is done. No innings pitched, 3 walks. Bases are loaded here for the Oaks for Jason Faris from Irvine Junior College. His first stint as a pitcher here with the Surf. And he will look to try and hold these runners at bay with nobody away. For Zach Kamenko, Will Picketts, and back to the top of the order, the dangerous Elijah Alexander. The Surf have some work to do if they want to try and come back into this game. They trail 7-5. And it's a big deal here because they have worked their way back into this game. The Oaks were up 7-1 after the 3rd inning. A run in the 5th and 3 runs in the 7th have allowed the Surf to come back into this game. The last thing they wanted to do is try to blow it now, and that's exactly why Mao was pulled quickly. And Faris now will have an opportunity to try and hold these runners at bay. The first pitch to Kamenko, taken over the heart of the plate for strike 1. On the day for Zach Kamenko, he's 1 for 2, a single. A run scored, a walk, and a ground out. Hope everybody's enjoying their Tuesday. 0-1. A curveball missing inside. 0-2 the count. The Oaks are beginning a long 12 games in 14 days stretch. We are going to be on for every single one of them, of course. Bringing you all the action right here on YouTube as well as on KDTV. Kamiko steps back in. The 1-1 almost hits him. Take a step out of the way, and Faris took a sigh of relief, though he is down to the count, 2 balls and a strike. 5 runs, 9 hits, 3 errors for the Surf. 7 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for the Oaks. Faris toes the rubber and offers the 2-1. Popped up. Back behind the plate. Is there room for Abdul Nawar to make the catch? There is, as he hits the wall. And that is an athletic play from the catcher, Matt Abdul Nawar. Great catch from him, out number 1. And that's exactly what you want, because now a double play gets the Surf out of their jam. That'll bring up Will Picketts now. He was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat back in the 6th, batting in place of Tanner Wright. One away. Bases juiced here for the Oaks. And the Pierce Junior College turned Cal State Bakersfield Roadrunner digs in. Faris deals, though. Upstairs, ball 1. Great catch by Abdul Nawar. That was inches away from going behind him.
Yeah, it was an athletic play. Could have been dangerous.
Pickett sporting the black and red Pierce Junior College helmet. His father, Bill Pickett's the head of Pierce. And the crowd for the Oaks, a frequent fan, as well as offers some advice to this team. The 1-0. That one is slapped way down the left field line, but very foul into the community garden here at Cal Lutheran. 1-1 the count to Pickett's. Pickett's batting 0.89 on the season. His 5th game. He's only started 3 of them. He has 3 runs and 2 RBIs. Last year with the Oaks, had a short stint with the team, batted .206. 3 RBIs, 13 runs, no homers for him. Faris checks the runner at second and fires the 1-1. Popped up, back behind home plate. Abdul Nawar trying to make way, but very far out of play. 1-2 the count to Pickett's. As I mentioned, from now until Friday, all games at 4:30. Saturday's game in Biola will be at 4:30 as well, but Sunday we'll be back here for a 12 o'clock game against the Barons. All home games, except for Sundays, are 4:30 games on the West Coast. Pre-game for those will be at 4:15. I expect Jordan Brenner to rejoin us, doing some PA today for the Oaks as Ramsey is absent. The 1-2 to Pickett's. Curveball upstairs, 2-2 the count. And Jordan Brenner is definitely doing a great job as our public address announcer for today's game. Though I can guarantee you he misses being behind the broadcasting mic. We definitely miss having him up here. Pickett's takes a couple of practice swings. Shakes his hat a little bit. No, steps out.
He's shaked his hat twice now. It seems like he's doing it before every run.
Most batters have some sort of routine or some sort of superstition. Perhaps that's his. We'll talk about it with him as the season progresses. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away, bases juiced here for the Oaks. 2-2 offering. Up and in, ball 3. And now an interesting situation here for Faris. Bases loaded in a double play situation, down by 2, and a full count up on the board. A predicament for the pitcher. And I think the only way he'll be satisfied is if he either strikes out Pickett's or forces him to ground out into a double play. Because remember, an infield fielder's choice scores a run, and a fly ball deep enough scores a run. Payoff pitch from Faris. Runs low and away, ball 4, and that'll walk in a run here for the Oaks. That run does get a credit to Mao. The first of 3 that could be accredited to him, and the Oaks take a 8-5 lead here in the bottom of the 7th. That is a big assurance run for him as Elijah Alexander digs in.
He was dealt a bad hand with the bases loaded, but your coach and your team still expect you to put him away.
Especially ahead in the count. He was ahead in the count 1-2. Pickett was able to foul off a couple of pitches and work his way back into a 3-2 count. The patience paid dividends there. Fourth walk of the inning. First pitch to Alexander's upstairs for ball one. Came in as a pinch runner back in the sixth. In place of Andrew Lucas, who ends his day in the number one spot. Elijah Alexander from the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley batted over 280 this past season. From Ventura College, takes a pitch over the heart of the plate, 1-1 the count. A local product who has been very happy, very successful in his collegiate career. A couple of walk-offs this past season for UTRGV. So far, though, a slow start for him, batting 176. 3 hits and 17 at-bats. 1 home run, 1 RBI. Ball gets away from the catcher, Abdul Nauer, though runners stay put, 1-1 the count. Oh, actually 2-1 the count, excuse me. And for Alexander, when you watch him in batting practice, the sheer power that he possesses is actually unbelievable. He will put on a home run hitting show of his own. The 2-1 pitch paints the inside corner for strike 2, evens the count. But he hasn't seen a lot of pitches that he does see in batting practice, which is why we haven't seen so much pop out of his bat. But again, early season, expect most of these players who are consistently in the lineup for the Oaks to get out of their slumps and the offense to pick up and progress. The 2-2. A slow roller over to first, but that'll go foul, and we'll do it again. 8 runs on 7 hits and an error for the Oaks. 5 and 9 and 3 in the same category for the Surf. The first of 3, actually of 2 meetings. There originally was 3 meetings between these two teams, but when the Neptune Beach Pearl dropped the CCL, that shook up the schedule a little bit. The Oaks actually added the Puff Caps to end June and begin July, as well as another matchup against the Ventura County Pirates, and took away a matchup against the Surf. 2-2 to Alexander once again. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. A big out number 2 as Alexander heads back to the bench. The first strikeout on the game for Faris. The 5th overall for the Surf.
That's what you need from Faris. You can't give up any more runs if you're the Oaks. It's 8-5, and if they have a 4-run lead, it becomes dangerous.
Michael Spears digging in the first day he has in an Oaks uniform. 0 for 4, a pair of strikeouts, reached on error and flown out. Takes a first pitch ball up and in. From Ole Miss, one of 3 Ole Miss players projected to join the Oaks this season. Of course, Chase Cockrell batted .317 with Ole Miss, as well as Tyler Keenan, who batted .301 in his freshman campaign. Expected to join the team here down the road. 0-1 pitch becomes 1-0 pitch becomes 2-0 on a pitch in the dirt. And Spears in his freshman season, as I mentioned earlier, batted .118, didn't start any games, but played in 24. Scored a couple of runs as well. And overall, he's actually a very good talent. It's hard to pick up any consistency when you're not starting and only playing in 24 games. The 1-0. Low, ball 2. But expect him to break out this season and really show what he has come fall for the Ole Miss team. An Ole Miss team that was 3 outs away from the College Baseball World Series and just couldn't handle it. Ended up losing. That's why Spears is with us today. The 2-0 paints the heart of the plate. A breaking pitch at 73. 2-1 the count. Tyler Ryan waiting on deck. 1 away, 1 around in the inning. Bases still juiced here for the Oaks. Pickett's at first. Cameron at second. Tillman at third. The 2-1 is over to short. The glove flick to Cunha for 1. Over to Shell at first for 2. A beautiful 6-4-3 double play, and we'll leave it here. We're through 7 full from Sparky Anderson Field. Oaks get a run on no hits, no errors. The bases left with 1 at third. To the top of the 8th we go. A 3-run ball game. The Surf look to capitalize on a big 7th inning that they had when we come back on the Oaks Broadcasting Network. Top of the 8th inning, Sean McKinnon, myself, Jonathan Rifkin. Oaks up 8-5, but the Surf, who put up 3 runs in the 7th, need to make up that difference here in the 8th and the 9th. Looking to do just that with Matt Abdelnauer leading off. Bo Jelenik's first pitch is a glider outside the zone at 62 for ball 1. And actually, it looks like we have a pinch hitter. Give you who that is here in just a moment as the 1-0 pitch is sliced into foul territory over the first base line. Bart West makes a chase for it and just misses the basket catch over his shoulder. Evens the count, though. 1 ball and 1 strike. It's Ryan Penelber from Apple Valley, California. Just finished a sophomore campaign at Fullerton Junior College. So that makes Abdelnauer's day in the 5th spot done. He went 0 for 3 with a strikeout, a pop-out, and a fly-out. And Penelber will look to try to generate some offense here for the Surf. The 1-1 paints the outside corner. 1-2 the count. 8 runs, 7 hits, and an error for the Oaks. 5 runs, 9 hits, 3 errors for the Surf here in the latter part of this ball game. Jelenik deals the 1-2. Well out in front of it was Penelber. Fouled it back. 1-2 the count remains. And for the Oaks, it looks like Eddie Cutt, the big righty, is striding out to the bullpen. There will be a save situation if the score holds. I'm surprised Angus Denton is not getting his number called as the normal closer. The 0-2 pitch is a 64-mile-an-hour off-speeder. A big swing and a miss for Penelber, and he goes down swinging for out number 1 here in the 8th inning. 5th strikeout of the day for the Oaks. That matches the 5 strikeouts that the Surf have accrued on their defensive side, I should say. And now there's one out up on the board for the new batter sporting number 22, Chase Kerr, out of Oklahoma Baptist University. Ryan Roche's day is done as the first pitch is taken for ball 1. The lefty takes the place of the righty, who went 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts and a ground out into the double play. There's also a pinch hitter waiting on deck as the 1-0 pitch becomes a 1-1 count on a strike on the outside corner. Man waiting on deck is number 21, Matt Warnerowicz. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce that. It's a Polish name. As that pitch misses low, 2-1 the count. It's spelled Woinerowicz. Wojnarowicz is what we'll say right now.
It's easy, Jonathan.
The 2-1 pitch swung and a miss, 2-2 the count.
Do you think our batter gets a culture shock coming to Thousand Oaks, California from Oklahoma Baptist University?
Well, considering the fact he's from Glendora, California, I don't think too much as he swings and misses on the 1-2 pitch for strike 3. Jelenik is now striking out the first 2 pitches, or batters, that he's seen in this inning. But with that being said, I think that the baseball culture here in Southern California is starkly different from Oklahoma Baptist. Of course, the Oaks had the Oklahoma Baptist catcher Juan Gonzalez on the squad last season. So, OBU not too unfamiliar with the area as a looping curveball is taken in there for ball 1 to Matt. I'm just going to call him Matt. He's normally a right-handed pitcher from Yorba Linda, plays his games at Cal State Dominguez Hill, takes an 0-1 pitch for strike 2.
It was, oh yes, I'm sorry.
0-2 here to the lefty. Jelenik looking for strikeout number 3. The pitch is in the dirt. 1-2 the count. Penelber led things off striking out. Kerr was behind him and struck out as well. And now our friend Matt Wojnarowicz. I think we're going to go with that. I think that's the most consistent. Steps in, the 1-2 pitch, misses away. 2-2 the count as Eddie Cutt now begins to toss in the bullpen for the Oaks.
I won't even try.
I think it's worth mentioning, just so people aren't confused as to why I'm only using his first name. Mostly because I'm illiterate, apparently. 2-2 pitch, runs up and away, full count now, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And you know his name is hard to pronounce when the PA system fails to announce it. Jordan Brenner's voice did not come over over the PA to announce this batter for good reason. 3-2 pitch runs outside from 0-2 to 4-2. Matt works his way to first base. And Christian Carlos, the first consistent batter that we have seen in this inning, was not pulled. Batting 2 for 3 on the day with a pair of runs scored and a pair of singles steps in. Second walk given up by Jelinek on the day. To go along with his 2 strikeouts. He has yet to give up a hit, though. As the 0-0 pitch is skied to left field. Tillman giving chase over at the track, and he makes the catch for out number 3. Allowed out there. Ends the top half of the 8th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. Bottom of the 8th after this on the Oaks Broadcasting Network. The Oaks up 8-5.
Tyler Ryan.
New pitcher on the mound here for the Surf in the bottom of the 8th inning is Cade Denyer from Occidental College. That ends Jason Farise's day. 1 inning pitched. No hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. Tyler Ryan leads things off here for the Oaks in the bottom of the 8th, up 8-5, looking to maintain or extend that lead here. Ryan on the day, 1 for 3. Takes the first pitch from the lefty, low and away for ball 1. Tyler Ryan did not travel with the Oaks this past weekend. Was nursing an injury, but now back in action. It's the 1-0 pitch, runs away, 2-0 the count. As I mentioned, Cade Denyer from Occidental College out in Pomona, California, takes the helm here for the Surf. Looking to keep this Oaks offense at bay and give his team one more opportunity to make up the 3-run deficit. The 2-0 pitch is a big swing and a miss. 2-1 the count. 77 miles an hour up on the gun on that one. Two-one pitch, cut on and missed. Strike 2. Tyler Ryan actually played at Cuesta College his first 2 years before heading over to the University of the Pacific. Played in 32 games and had 25 starts overall. Played pretty well as he swings and misses at a 2-2 pitch. Strike 3. Nice pitch there from Denyer. Gets his first strikeout on the game on the first batter he faces. And out number 1 up on the board. By the way, as I mentioned for Ryan on the season for the University of the Pacific, he batted .271, not too bad. 8 RBIs, 5 walks, struck out 30 times though, which was good for 4th on the team. Brandon Lewis steps in and takes a first pitch ball in the dirt. 1-0 count to him. He's 2 for 4 on the day. A home run, 2 RBIs, a single, a flyout, and a pop out. In his 4 trips, waves that bat heartily over his right shoulder. The 1-0 pitch misses outside. 2-0 the count. If you watch his stance, He has this wide stance where he offsets his left foot in front of his right foot. It's not lined up shoulder to shoulder like most batters because he generates so much power off that back foot. Big home run swing there. Misses. 2-1 the count. And that's his repertoire. Big, booming outs. You rarely see him ground out. You rarely see him hit a ground ball at all. If he gets out, he skies out, or he hits a home run, or extra base hit. 2-1 pitch, another home run looking swing. Foul tipped back into the glove of the new catcher, Penalbar, for strike number 2. Kerr is over at third, by the way. 2-2 pitch misses. 3-2 the count.
The pitcher's doing exactly what needs to be done. For the Surf to have a shot in the game, they've only got one more chance in the 9th inning, so they need to hold the Oaks scoreless.
But payoff pitch right there allows Lewis to reach over to first base on the ball for miss. That makes it a one away, one on opportunity here for Bart West. On the day for Mr. West, 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored back in the 7th inning. Looking to try to get his first base knock of the ball game with one on. The first pitch, sliced foul out of play, 0-1 the count. It's been a fun game. Fun broadcast, a big home run, a couple of nice double plays on both sides. Had the opportunity to interview Jackson Simonsguard back in the 5th inning. Always a fun guy to talk to. That interview will be posted on SoundCloud after the game. 0-1 pitch. This is low and outside, 1-1 the count. 8 runs, 7 hits, and an error for the Oaks. 5 runs, 9 hits, 3 errors for the Surf. And a look around the league. How about the Santa Barbara Foresters? As the 1-1 pitch is fouled back against the screen. You're playing the Arroyo Seco Saints right now. They're in the 3rd inning, and the Foresters are winning 10-0 in the middle of the 3rd inning. Everybody should be scared of this Foresters team. Of course, the Foresters and the Oaks will play 6 times this season, and they are bitter rivals. Those games are always fun, and both teams are going to be very, very good. 1-2 pitch misses, 2-2 the count. The Oaks and the Foresters will meet for their first matchup next week here at Sparky Anderson on June 19th at 4:30. I am very much looking forward to that one. And you, Sean, in your first year with the Oaks, are going to see firsthand what rivalry baseball looks like. 2-2 pitch misses low. The runner goes. No throw, though, as the ball was mishandled behind the plate by Penalter. And Brandon Lewis gets his second stolen base of the season. Runner in scoring position, full count here to Bart. Of course, the most notable game was a 6-4 Oaks win on the 4th of July in 2016. There were a few ejections, including head coach David Sleece and head coach Bill Bintard, the Oaks and the Foresters head coaches, as well as a few players as well. Hank Lafort, the second baseman who led the Cal State Fullerton Titans to a super regional this past season, got ejected in that game. 3-2 pitch misses low and away, ball 4. After the strikeout, back-to-back walks drawn by the Oaks, and they have runners on first and second with a 1 away here in the top, or actually the bottom of the 8th inning. That brings up Raymond Gomez, who walked his first time up an inning ago. We'll look to either replicate that result or capitalize with a hit with 2 on and 1 away. Denier toes the rubber, checks the runner, and fires the first pitch away for ball 1. But yes, the Oaks-Foresters rivalry is almost unparalleled to any sports rivalry. You think of the Celtics and the Lakers, you think of the Red Sox and the Yankees, you think of the Rams and the Niners. No. Nothing tops, as the 1-0 pitch is taken for strike 1, the Oaks and the Foresters. The closest I could think of is either the Oregon-Washington rivalry or the USC-UCLA rivalry. Other than that, I cannot name you a sports rivalry that is more iconic, that is more fierce than the Oaks and the Foresters. 1-on-1 is cut on a miss by Gomez for strike 2. That may just be my bias, but I do think that there is something to be said about how these two teams play when they play each other. And I think you'll be able to understand what I mean here come next week.
Does you and a Jordan Brenner rivalry count?
Oh, not yet, but come the end of the season, probably. Denier steps off the mound and takes time. It's a brewing rivalry. The season is still young. I see you trying to stir the pot here, Sean.
No, not at all.
The 1-2 pitch from Denier is cracked over in between short and third. Rounding third and coming home is Lewis. The throw in from Fedone. No, he bobbles it. And that'll be an RBI single here from Gomez. The Oaks take a 9-5 lead late in the bottom of the 8th inning. Good sign here from Raymond Gomez. He's now 1 for 1 on the day. And that brings up Michael Tillman. 0 for 3 on the day with a walk. He reached on an error, scored after that, grounded out and struck out in his other 2 trips. Gomez, of course, got a little bit hurt on Saturday against the Barons, but shook it off, came back to play on Sunday. Got the first part of the game off here as Tillman swings and misses, strike 1. Came in place of Sam Shaken and has capitalized nicely. A walk and an RBI single now to his day. Tillman looking to continue the inning. 1 away, 2 on, 1 around. Denier checks the runner at second and steps off. The second baseman, Tommy Acuna, was asking for a pickoff attempt. Denier waited a little bit too long and now has to reset. Eddie Cutt still warming up for the Oaks as the 0-1 pitch is skied out to right field. Matt takes a step back, tagging from second to third after the catch is Bart West. It could be a productive out here, out number 2 on the flyout. Should the Oaks score, runners at the corners now 2 away. And Zach Kamiko stepping into the right-handed batter's box. I owe the Kamiko family an apology. I talked to Zach before the game today, and he said he was listening to some of the broadcasts, and we kept mispronouncing his name. We said Kaminka, Kaminkow. That one, of course, Jordan Brenner. But I did say Kaminka a couple of times, and it is Kaminko. We did have that conversation. I'm happy that he corrected me as the pickoff attempt over the first. Gomez slides back safely. And I promise I will never make that mistake again. Us here on the Oaks broadcast are not above our mistakes, and we'll always admit to them. The lefty on the mound fires in the first pitch outside. Quick look from Penalter. Nothing doing though over at first. 1-0 the count. Nine runs, 8 hits, and an error for the Oaks. 5 runs, 9 hits, 3 errors for the Surf. The 1-0. Upstairs, 2-0 the count. Oaks have left a total of 7 runners on base. 5 total on base for the Surf here in the 8th inning. Kamiko takes a couple of practice swings, faces a 2-0 count. Denier checks the runner and fires. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Denier toes the rubber and fires the 2-1. Another swing and a miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away and 2 on. 2's everywhere here right now.
2 broadcasters.
The list goes on and on. 2-2. Just missing inside. Full count. Now that was a hard pitch to take. And Kamiko looked back at the ump waiting for the call because he wasn't sure if that was going to be called a ball or not. Fortunately, the call went his way. Denier fires in the payoff pitch. Sliced in the shallow center field. 3 different Surf players can't get to it. 1 run comes around. The throw will not come in as 2 runs score. And that'll be a 2 RBI bloop single for Zach Kamiko. The Oaks take an 11-5 lead here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Couple of insurance runs. Christian Carlos, Tommy Acuna, and Clifford Pratt all converged on that ball. Nobody called for it, and all 3 allowed it to drop.
It seemed like that's happened twice today for the Surf, and that's going to be a mistake that they're going to need to eliminate in the future.
Will Pickett, steps in here on the day 1 for 1. Looking to continue the Oaks inning here with 2 away. They lead 11-5. He slices that one in left field. That's going to drop. No, just foul. It looked fair off the bat, but the wind unfortunately died down, which we were accustomed to seeing pick up towards the end of the game. Not allowed to ball to drop about an inch to the left of the foul line for strike one. 11 runs, 9 hits now for the Oaks and an error. 5, 9, and 3 in the same categories for the Surf. Pitch gets away from the catcher, penalty turn. That'll allow Kamenko to take second base on the wild pitch. 3 runs around in the inning for the Oaks. They scored in the first 3 innings of the ball game. 2 runs in the first, 4 runs in the second, 3 runs in the fourth. The Surf scored 1 run in the third, 1 run in the fifth, and 3 runs in the seventh. The Oaks now have 3 runs here in the eighth. Denyer deals the 1-1. Paints the outside corner for strike 2. No save situation now on the other side for the Oaks because of the 3 runs that have been scored in the inning. And that means that when Eddie Cutt comes in, it'll just be an appearance for him, not a safe situation. Denyer checks the run at second and offers the 1-2 pitch, missing outside. 2-2 the count. Looks like Denyer will be the final pitcher of the ball game. Nobody warming up for the Surf on their end. The only way I could see him being pulled and a new Surf pitcher coming in is if the Surf can rally in the top of the ninth and come back. The 2-2 pitch, cut foul, out of play, and we'll do it again. This has been a long ball game. Longest game that we have seen in regulation. Of course, 3 hours and 37 minutes was the 11-inning game on Saturday. We're at 2 hours and 51 minutes now in this ball game. Pickett digs back in. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. Runner in scoring position at second base in the form of Zach Kamenko for the Oaks. Denyer taking his time as Pickett's now is ready. Shoulders the bat. And the Occidental product fires in the 2-2. No, it was actually a 3-2. The board said 2-2, but that will be ball 4. Our scoreboard said 2 balls and 2 strikes. The umpire didn't correct it. But I guess that was ball 4, and that's the third walk given up by Denyer in the inning. Runners on first and second. Extends the inning here for the Oaks for Elijah Alexander. He's 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout. Pickett's has now been walked all 3 times he's been up to the plate. He was actually hit by a pitch in the sixth, but nonetheless, still took first base as Elijah Alexander skies one in the foul territory for strike 1. 3 runs around in the inning on 2 hits. No errors, and so far 2 runners on base for the Oaks with 2 away and an 0-1 count to Alexander. Lefty on lefty matchups. Denyer deals. That one goes high and deep to right field, over to the tennis courts, and way out of here. Wow, what a shot by Elijah Alexander. The longest home run that we have seen as he slow trots around the bases and gives the Oaks a 14-5 lead here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Holy cannoli, what a home run. David Appleby is in disbelief from the Oaks bench. She can't believe it. That was incredible.
He hit it in the same place twice, but on the second time it left the ballpark.
Wow. That was probably the furthest home run that I have seen in my Oaks broadcasting career, now with my 3rd season on this team. Michael Spears checks in now. I don't know how you top that. Foul tips one back for strike 1. That was insane. Elijah Alexander, and you can bet I will be interviewing him after this game if this lead holds for the Oaks. 0-1 pitch drops in the dirt, 1-1 the count. A lefty on lefty mashup, and Elijah Alexander. Everybody in the crowd is still smiling. I can't get over that one. The entire Pierce coaching staff is here, and they can't believe it either. 1-1 pitch, fouled back, 1-2 the count.
The Surf made an early effort at a comeback today, but in the latter half of the ball game, the Oaks have kind of ran away with it.
The 1-2 pitch swung on and missed. Spears strikes out And that will finally end the inning on the 9th batter. 6 runs, 3 hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. The big inning emphasized with an exclamation point by the longest home run that may be here at Cal Lutheran University in summer collegiate play, Elijah Alexander. We will be right back for the finale in the top of the 9th. The Surf trailing by 9 when we come back on the Oaks Broadcasting Network.
Off.
Eddie Cutt takes the mound here in the top of the 9th inning. The Surf have quite a mountain to climb, trailing by 9. Bo Jelenik's day is done. 2 2/3 innings pitched. 1 hit, no runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Cutt will look to finish this game off from Ohio University. Deals the first pitch low and outside for ball 1. The new batter is a pinch hitter sporting number 25. Give you the name of who that is here in just a moment. It actually doesn't look like he's listed on the roster as that pitch misses 2-0. 91 miles an hour, by the way, on the gun. Eddie Cutt has been pretty good. He had a rough first start, but since then, 3 appearances, a 5.4 ERA. No runs given up in the last 2 appearances he's seen. 2-0 pitches cut on and missed. 2-1 the count. Still no word. Actually, it is Clifford Pratt. Okay, so no pinch hitter here as he chops one over to short. Pickett gets it on the hop and fires it over to West for out number 1. Pratt now finishes his day unless they have a big inning here. 2 for 3 with a walk, a double, a single, an RBI, and 2 runs scored. Not a bad day out of the number 9 spot for him. Cotter Fredone now digs in. He's 1 for 3, a walk, a single, an RBI, a strikeout, and a ground out of the leadoff spot. First pitch from Cutt. Low and inside for ball 1. Eddie Cutt, as I mentioned, from Ohio University, will head there for his sophomore season in Athens after the fall. Fires the 1-0 pitch, low for ball 2. He has quite an arm, one of the faster Oaks pitchers, and expect him to get a lot of late inning relief appearances in close games as the 2-0 pitch is 1 hopper over to West at first. Tags it unassisted for out number 2. And Cutt now is 1 out away from sealing the 14-5 victory for the Oaks. Only 10 hits, though, to 9 for the Surf. The difference, though, has been the home runs and the walks. The Oaks have drawn a total of 10 walks in this game. And that is a big difference. Tommy Acuna steps in here and takes a first pitch strike on the day for the big second baseman at a Santa Ana Junior College. He's 0 for 3 with a strikeout, a groundout, and a flyout. He's also walked. Cutt deals the 0-1. Swung on and missed, strike 2, and now Eddie Cutt is 1 strikeout away from this game being over. Cutt, Pearson fires the 0-2 in the dirt. Good block by Kamiko, but nobody on base, so nothing doing. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. Cutt toes the rubber and takes the sign from Kamiko. Acuna shoulders the bat. Cutt, Pearson fires the 1-2 pitch. Called strike 3, and this one is over. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. The Surf are retired in short order, and this ball game has been sealed. The Oaks finally win it, 14-5. The final line for you for the Surf first. 5 runs on 9 hits, 3 big errors. They leave 6 on base. The Oaks get 14 runs, which is a season high, on 10 hits, 1 error. And they leave a total of 7 on base. A quick post-game here, and then we'll go down to the field for our post-game interview. Sean, the Oaks finally broke out of their offensive slump. They put up 14 big ones after only a 1-run performance on Sunday. Did the chemistry seem like it was more effective today?
You know, it did. They got their runners on base, and then they were able to finish up. They were able to bring in those runners. And in the outfield too, only 1 error by the Oaks. They had nice, clean plays, throwing from across the diamond from first to third, third to first. The chemistry was there, and their confidence was brought up all over. A good day for the Oaks.
Overall, a good day indeed. The player of the game, there's a lot of them, but I'm going to give it to Elijah Alexander just for the longest home run I have ever seen at this ballpark. He just knocked it literally out of the park. He did only go 1 for 2 on the day, but nonetheless, he will be my player of the game. Some other big performance for you, Zach Kamenko had 2 hits to go along with the 2 RBI single in the 8th and that run scored in the 2nd. Tanner Wright in the number 9 spot went 1 for 2, and then Will Pickett's went 0 for 0 with 3 walks and an RBI as well. And Brandon Lewis went 2 for 4 with a walk, 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs, a home run, a flyout, and a pop-out. Well, that's going to do it for us here on the broadcast. We're going to sign off, but head over to Twitter onto Periscope. I'll be down on the field with Elijah Alexander, our player of the game. Until then, though, the Oaks will be back here tomorrow at 4:30, 4:15 for the pregame show. I hope you enjoyed today. We really did. It was a lot of fun, a lot of offense for everybody who made this broadcast possible, from downstairs in the press box up here above the press box, from head coach Solis and our wonderful Oaks staff, to the Orange County Surf staff for making sure that we were accommodated with their stats and rosters, to Jacob Plack, our statistician, to our PA announcer, Jordan Brenner, to my broadcasting partner in crime and our amazing producer, Sean McKinnon. My name is Jonathan Rifkin, signing off. We will see you tomorrow at 4:15 pregame, 4:30 for first pitch. The Oaks and the Ventura County Pirates duking it out here at Cal Lutheran University on George Sparky Anderson Field. Once again, the final here, the Oaks win it 14-5. I'll be on the field in about 5 minutes with Elijah Alexander on Twitter for Oaks postgame. Right after this, we'll see you tomorrow, everybody.